Meat
First
puppets.
guest is an enormously popular radio personality here in New York, where he can be heard every morning on K-Rock, WXRK Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Howard Stern.
Thank you, David. David Letterman welcoming me to the show. I'm back. I've been out a week. It's the longest I've ever been away from the show. I'm still sick. I'm very, very sick. I want to tell you all about my sickness right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
You know what it was? I wasn't better. I just figured I better come back.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were still employed.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether to come in or not, but since nobody called, I figured I'd show up, and if you guys weren't here, I'd go home.
Right. I know, because Robin was walking around in the halls looking for me this morning. You were about out the door.
Yeah, nobody's here, I'm out.
Yeah.
A lot of faxes came in for you.
I figured after, like, being out for, I don't know what it's been now, like 12 days.
Not quite.
Not quite, 10 days? Was it 10?
Well, we don't work weekends. You can't count those.
Yeah, but I was out that Friday.
Part of the string.
Yeah.
It's
days in a row.
Okay.
I was out for 10 days. After being out for 10 days, I figured...
Does anybody remember?
I just figured I better get back. But I'm still sick. I've never been this sick in my life. I don't know what the hell happened with me, but I got the flu. And, you know, I never go to a doctor. And, I mean, I never go to a doctor because I know that even if I get, like, a fever, it'll go right away. And if you remember, I got this thing, and I had, like, a stomach thing going on, and I had a fever of about 102, and then it went away after, like, one day.
That lasted maybe 48 hours,
yeah.
I'd say. And then you were fine.
I thought I was anyway, and then I came to work, and then 3 days later, I got this flu again, and, you know, you get, like, this cough and this stuff in your lungs, and you get a fever. So I had a fever for, like, remember I took my temperature on the air, had about 101?
Right, you were 101 here, right here on the air.
Yeah. So then I went home, and it went up to, like, 102, and I figured by tomorrow it would be gone the next day.
Break or something.
Yeah, because I never have a fever more than a day. What am I, a little kid? So, you know, that stupid thermometer we bought, thank God we had it, because I wouldn't have known what I had for a temperature, but the very next day I'm up to like 103, and then like 103 and a half.
Sheesh.
And then it's not going away. It's just staying with me. So it was like, my wife kept saying, go to a doctor. I said, nah, I'll be fine. It's going to go away. And then about the third day in, fourth day in on 103, I said, you know, remember Jim Henson? She was laying in bed.
You know what? You mentioned him the first time this happened.
Yeah, I said, you know, I could be like Jim Henson. I could be thinking, I don't really have anything. I'm just going to lay in bed and get better. And then I drop dead.
The disease get too far progressed before you go in, and you'll be dead.
Yeah, because what was wrong with him? He had some kind of virus or something.
Yeah, actually, he had that thing that eats people's skin, only he had it in a different version.
Yeah.
And he didn't go in.
Yeah, so I figured, like, maybe I really should go to a doctor. But then by the time I decided to go to the doctor, my wife wasn't home, no one was home, and I had about 103 fever, and I just was like, so I called the doctor, and I got really panicked, and I said, you know what? I should have come to see you, shouldn't I? He goes, that's what I've been calling you for 2 days.
He was calling?
Yeah, he says, you should come see me. I said, I'll be fine. So he tells me to come in. By then I realize I'm so feverish, I'm delirious, I don't think I can drive a car.
And you're all alone.
Yeah, so I called my mother up. I said, hey, Ma, give me a ride to the doctor, will you? She goes, all right.
I didn't even know your mother drove.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she can drive?
Yeah, she could drive, barely, but she could drive. I wouldn't be on the same road with her when she was driving. No, she does all right. She drives kind of slow, but she drives.
Yeah.
And she drove me over. It's kind of embarrassing going with your mom at 41 years old.
Some things never change with you.
I even said, you know, my wife keeps saying to me, I'll take you over, and my wife leaves, and my mother ends up taking me. So my mother, you know, gets me in the back of the car, and I'm laying there. I couldn't even see straight.
Really?
Yeah. And I go over to the doctor, and X-ray in my chest. They're doing all kinds of studies.
Any blood drawn?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they did the whole thing. And they even did my cholesterol as long as I was there.
Might as well check everything.
I had the lowest cholesterol any man ever had.
Well, you don't eat anything with fat in it.
Guess what my cholesterol level is?
I don't know what a normal cholesterol level
Me
is.
neither. They say anything below 200 is good.
Yeah. Okay, so yours is...
Have you ever had your cholesterol taken?
Yeah, it was pretty good. But I only get it taken when I'm in good health and I'm got my weight way down.
Yeah.
But, yeah, under 200 is real good.
Okay, so let me say yours is 75.
No, 85.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but evidently that's like really incredible.
That's way down there.
Yeah. It's like, I'll live forever. I'll be miserable, but I'll live forever.
Look at you. The flu's going to knock you off.
I know. I don't even know how I'm going to get through this show. I don't even know.
Your heart won't go. The flu will kill you.
So I'm out for about 2 days, and my agent calls the house and says, listen, we just got a call that Howard has hepatitis from the newspaper. Hepatitis B from the newspaper. Well, he got a call. 2 days I'm out, and they said, well, the New York Post called him and said that I had hepatitis. So my agent said, well, which one, A or B? And the guy said, I don't know.
So they called back with hepatitis B?
I don't know. So we had to deny that for like 4 days. Because, I don't want it going around that I've got hepatitis or something. I mean, that,
why would you if you don't?
Yeah. I was thinking, is there any positive to releasing that story? Like, maybe that'd be cool. Howard Stern has hepatitis. Because my aunt died of that. I would like people to think I was dead.
Well, people did.
Yeah. So I had the flu.
Well, the other rumor was that you had AIDS.
Yeah, well, here's everything. I wrote down everything that came in. Flu, which was correct. Hepatitis. Then there was a whole thing going on that I was in contract negotiation that this was being staged to teach this company a lesson. Yeah, that you were holding out. You were doing a baseball player thing. Yeah, but I would never do that. People don't know me. I would never do that. I would just leave. Here's one. Eloped with Jessica Hahn. Oh, please. Believe me, I wish. I thought about her. I thought a lot about Amy Lynn. I thought you were sick. Well, you know what? I was. I couldn't even masturbate for the first... up until 2 days ago, I couldn't. Oh, then he's healed. Well, I'm feeling better. What? That's pretty much healed. Yeah, I caught up. I kept thinking about Amy Lynn, that should have been the reason I was out, that I was off with a penthouse pet. Yeah, somehow it just occurred to me, he wasn't sick. He just took that Learjet down to the island. With Amy. You couldn't get you on the phone. Yeah. Somehow everybody was covering for you so that nobody talked to you. Well, Baba Booey had sent home a tape of Amy Lynn called Bikini Diner. Uh-huh. Bikini Bistro. Oh, okay. Where Amy Lynn opens up a bikini restaurant. So all the waitresses wear bikinis, is that it? It's a failed restaurant, and Amy Lynn's going under. Uh-huh. So her good friend Marilyn Chambers comes to visit her and says, why don't you turn this into a bikini bistro? So they do, and then all the girls get into bikinis. And it's a big success. It's a big success. And I said, damn, I could be having sex with her. That Marilyn Chambers is a genius. Yeah. She lost her looks, but she still has her brains. Thank goodness. Yeah. Then there was a rumor going around that I had a fight with Tom Chiasano. Then there was a rumor going around that I had a nose job. Well, let me see your nose. No. I'll verify whether that occurred. Then they had me dying of cancer. That came in. Yeah. I had that one, too. Then for a while, one of my parents had died. They thought that might have happened. Why wouldn't you talk about that? Well, I mean, how long could that keep you out? At least a few days. Then there was another rumor that Ronnie, the limo driver, was on strike and that I couldn't get in. Because you don't know how. Because I don't know how to get into town. Oh, boy. Well, I just thought it was interesting, among all the well-wishers who were saying welcome back and hope you feel better was Howard Stern has AIDS. What a faggot. Yeah. Oh. What a faggot. Yeah. Meanwhile, that rap star guy we know, Eazy-E, got AIDS and died today. Quickly. Yeah. He just announced it a couple of weeks ago that he had AIDS. They only diagnosed it a month ago, and now he's dead. And I wanted to come on the air today and call him because he was taking calls in his hospital, but I just read he died today. Yeah. Or yesterday. Well, sometime early this morning. Yeah. He's gone. Too bad. But they say he had an estate of $30 million. That guy had $30 million? That's what I'm reading in the tabloids. Eazy-E? Yeah. No way. I'm going to start cursing. No way. Talking about shooting people. He only sold 2 million records. You're kidding.
They're claiming he has $30 million.
Remember that guy from Niggers with Attitude? He came on?
One of the co-founders, Howard.
Yeah. And we say, hey, man, it was just a good excuse to sit there and call a guy a nigger. We just kept saying, hey, man. Yeah, remember? We were just like, hey, my main nigger. And he'd be like,
good excuse?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's funny. White guy's calling a black guy nigger and getting away with it.
Do you want to save this for the news or you want to play this now? Robin asked me to pull a clip. It's Eazy-E talking about not wearing a condom and AIDS and stuff on this show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a guest a couple of times.
He had just mentioned that he had 5 children from assorted women, and then you start with this joke and then ask him about it.
Yeah, I started thinking, was he gay?
Well, he talked about that.
You know what? It's funny because all the news accounts say he didn't know how he contracted AIDS.
Bad meat in the can.
Said, look, we could have narrowed it down if somebody would only ask a follow-up question.
Yeah, like, did you have any gay sex? You're with NWAP, Niggers with Active Penis, I'll tell you that. You are completely out of control. You really are.
I'm just letting you know it works, and I'm not, homosexual or nothing like
Right, so you wear condoms when you have sex?
No, apparently not.
You don't have condoms?
Nah.
You never wear a condom?
Nah.
You heard about AIDS?
Yeah, but the people that I mess with don't.
They're clean.
Yeah.
How do you know?
You smell them before you have sex
I would have had
with
it
them.
myself if they would have had it, right?
Oh, man.
Jump around.
Chief Gates, are we doomed as a society?
I guess so.
Chief Gates, would you like to say something? Chief Gates was there? Society.
What do you do now?
What are we going to do with Eric here? Eric's got 5 kids.
At least he's got some money.
Yeah. Oh, so there you go.
Wow.
Hey, Eazy, did you have the AIDS? Hell no.
It's the people I don't mess with.
You can tell by looking at them that they don't have AIDS.
I don't think
they were lying.
I don't have it because I smell the girls.
Well, he was right. He wouldn't have it if they didn't, but he does.
So they did. So there you go.
You should have heard on 1010 how they announced it. It was like so bad. They said, and the rapper has died. No, not from a drive-by shooting. And they listed like 5 horrible things. It's like, oh, there's a tribute.
All right. No, this rap star died of AIDS.
Stabbed to death. No, not
really?
killed by his own kind. No.
How nice.
But it's true.
I don't care about any of it. The fact that he was worth $30 million is what I'm questioning.
That's the most amazing thing. I don't believe that can be true, but they say. Now, he had some long-time girlfriend, and he married her.
Her name was Bob.
Yeah, once he found out he had AIDS.
Nice.
Because they have a child together, and he wanted to make sure that she could have the bulk of his money. And then he set up trust funds for the other 5 or 6 kids. I don't remember how many.
Man.
And now they say there's going to be all these legal battles because, there's the 5 different women and the 6 kids. And
if I had $30 million, I'd wear 5 rubbers. $30 million that guy had. Go figure that one out.
Well, let's hope there's something to fight over.
I might get into the whole rap thing.
Well, I was thinking about it. I could yell out some curse words.
Yeah, I could too.
Talk about drugs.
I do that every day. I just don't put it to music. I think I did enough work for today. I got to go home.
You're done now?
Yeah. I got to take a break here. We'll be back right after these words.
More to come when the Howard Stern Show returns in a moment. 97.1. The Eagle.
6:31 at the Eagle. This is Brad Baxter, Eagle. It's 6:35 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard, Harleys, and pure rock. 97.1 The Eagle. You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
Most of the people I work with here at this station come in ill, and that's how come I get sick. Please, if you're feeling sick, do me a favor. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. I can't take it. I'm very weak. I mean, I get up.
Susceptible.
Yeah, I get up at 4 in the morning. I talk for a living, and you come in here with all your flus and your disease, and they give them to like Ganji. This guy comes in, he's sick. Comes to my house, he's sick.
He stays around you like 24 hours.
Yeah,
with his germ.
to make sure I get it. Do me a favor, stay home. He's so non-essential, it's not funny. If he wasn't here for a year, no one would know it. This is a guy who's got to be here. And this building's got to be killing me. This building is unbelievably filth-ridden.
Well, today I have a draft of cold air blowing on me, so if I'm well, it'll make me sick again.
That's nothing. You don't even know what's in that draft of cold air. What's hiding in there that's invisible.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I bet you it's green.
And will soon be in my lungs.
Right. But this Ganji, who I call Patient Zero, is constantly around me, no matter where I am.
And he's always sick.
If you're sick, stay home. Even so, Kathy Tobin was running in and out of here sick. Stay home. And Baba Booey with the sickness. He's another one who gives it to me. Believe me, this was not the work of one person, my illness. I mean, I was so sick, and then, God love my wife, but my wife has to get sick. Did you hear about this?
I only heard rumors that you guys were trading it back and forth.
I get sick, and I never get sick. I don't ask for any help from anybody, except when I'm sick. And the only help I need is if you'll make me some food once in a while, like maybe make me a bagel with some eggs.
Well, you do ask that they make sure it's in the house. You don't go shopping.
Yeah, but that's normal anyway. I don't ask for additional duties.
Nobody has to make it for you.
Right. I lay in bed. I go downstairs, I get a glass of water, or I get a bottle of water, I drink that.
So nobody even brings you a meal in bed when you're sick?
No, I asked my wife to do that, but now she gets sick. She can't bear to have me be sick, so that maybe I'll get some service out of her. So she's immediately sick, she has the flu, she has a fever, and she can't be bothered.
She had a fever too?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Kids were fine, thank God. Because that's all I would have needed. I would have had a nervous breakdown.
Maybe the house should have been quarantined if that was going on.
Yeah, but my wife has to be sick. So she's like, and every minute, like, she'll come up and she'll go, how do you feel? And I'll be like, well, I feel rotten. How do you feel? I didn't get any sleep. And I have to get a report on her sleep. I didn't get any sleep. I go, why not? I couldn't sleep from the pills. The doctor gave her pills.
So she went to the doctor, too?
Yeah. She had to do everything I did. Oh, I wanted to take her and throw her out a window. And I know how OJ felt. I swear.
You're almost at that point.
If I break my leg, my wife will break her leg. She'll make sure to break her leg just so
at
she can...
At the same time.
So she can get in on it. And every minute it's like, I didn't get enough sleep. I go, yeah? Why not? I think the antibiotic is keeping me up. I'm on antibiotic, too. I wasn't on antibiotic. I was on something called antiviral.
Okay.
That was an anti-flu.
Uh-huh.
I went to the doctor, and then he laid me down on the table, had me take my shirt off, and started pulling my pants down, but he didn't go all the way. Thank God. Because he knows. He goes, I know you don't like to take your pants all the way down.
Very invasive. He's at your pants.
Were you sweating?
What's down there that has to do with it?
I was all embarrassed because I hadn't showered for like 4 days, and I go to the doctor, and I stunk. And I swear to God, when my wife comes in the room and I have like 103 fever, she talks to me for 2 seconds, my fever goes up to 104. Just wanted her out of the room. And she has to come in and start coughing in front of me, and,
She got to show you
she's showing me she's sick. She couldn't be healthy while I was sick. Couldn't help me out. Didn't make me one lousy meal. I yelled at her at one point. I couldn't believe it. I asked her to make me something. She came up with... One meal, I was so sick I couldn't get out of bed. I said, make me a little spaghetti, will you, honey? And so she takes out this cold spaghetti from the refrigerator, these noodles that are all dried up. She dumps some ragu on it. She must have put it in the microwave for 30 seconds.
I'm sitting
there eating ice-cold ragu and disgusting noodles from 4 days old.
So you ate it?
Right. I go, you know what? This is such crap. I start yelling at her. I go, I asked you for one lousy meal. You can't even heat it up in the microwave. You take some 5-day-old rotten spaghetti, you stick some friggin' ragu on top of it, and it's ice-cold, and I'm going to puke. She goes, I'm sick, too. What do you think? And she starts yelling at me, and she leaves the room, and I just said, this is unbelievable. I just want one meal. I should get me some fresh food. I'm sick.
Boy. Next time I'll send you a nurse.
I said when I used to be sick, my mother would go out and buy different things.
Make you feel better.
Yeah. What is that? Is that the citrus? Is that the citrus?
And,
what? Is it citrus? Yeah? All right, thank you.
What is this citrus now?
We're having some citrus.
Sounds like a 100-year-old man. Is that right?
Is that my citrus? This is I thought we were getting fresh squeeze.
Yeah,
what is this?
Fresh squeeze.
Yeah.
Tropicana crap.
Concentrated it.
Stuttering John comes in and goes, hey, you want some citrus? I'm going out for some citrus. I go, citrus? What the hell is that? He goes, some orange juice.
Is he the one who started that?
Yeah, citrus.
You must have bought one of those vocabulary books.
Yeah, citrus.
Use the new word every
So I thought he was going to one of those cool Koreans where they sit there and squeeze the stupid oranges all day.
Yeah. No, he's got Tropicana.
Yeah, so he goes, yeah. I go, fresh squeeze? He goes, yeah, fresh squeeze.
He wouldn't even know what that was.
Stupid idiot.
I bet he doesn't know orange juice comes from oranges.
John, I thought you were going to the Korean. Look what he gets me.
That doesn't even remember being an orange.
There's no citrus in this. There's more citrus in the carton. So, anyway, I thought you were getting citrus.
Yeah, I always drink that, but I can get you fresh squeeze. You want fresh squeeze?
Didn't he say fresh squeeze?
I thought you were going to get to... I thought I was getting excited because you were getting fresh squeeze.
I can get fresh squeeze.
We got a Korean?
Yeah, we have the deli. They have fresh squeeze. Would you like that? It tastes good.
Well, I don't know. I mean, now I feel kind of funny asking for it. I give him $20. I said, get me some fresh squeeze and get you fresh squeeze.
No, I haven't ordered it yet. I can get it. No problem.
Wait, let me understand something. You came in here and asked me if I wanted citrus.
Yeah, I thought I always drink Tropicana. I thought maybe you wouldn't like the pieces and stuff. I don't know what you like.
So, but you said fresh squeeze.
No, I didn't. I just said citrus.
Yeah, and I said, fresh squeeze, and you went, yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
I thought the citrus kind of implied fresh.
Well, I only said fresh squeeze 20. Who would get excited about Tropicana?
I always drink it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I drink that at home because my wife doesn't squeeze anything. Imagine, I would have fallen over and gotten healthy if my wife came in and said, you know what, honey? I went out and bought a bunch of oranges from a Korean and squeezed them.
Squeeze you some oranges.
Yeah. Oh, my mother used to do stuff like, you know what? I was thinking about it. Like, I'm married, and I know, like, sometimes, like, I have to convince myself to stay married because I'm like, hey, imagine, you're a big shot now, but imagine you get sick, and, you got no woman or anything, no women want you. All of a sudden, you're all,
Yeah, if you're just ragging every woman that you know, there'll be nobody to take care of you.
Yeah, right.
You really need somebody.
And then I'm thinking about it. My wife doesn't take care of me. My wife doesn't take care. I could pay somebody, I don't know, $20,000 a year. They'd take better care of me.
I know you were complaining the other week that she's never even cooked you a meal.
No, the whole time I was sick, she didn't cook a meal. I didn't have fresh food. All I had was like rotten rubbery noodles.
How are you supposed to get well?
I don't know.
You're not even getting any good food.
I wasn't getting any good food, no nourishment.
I take care of myself better.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If I was alone in an apartment, I could take better care of myself.
I had citrus. I had fresh squeeze.
Really? Did you?
Yes.
How did you have that?
I could order it from the deli. They bring it right up.
From a Jew or a Korean?
A Korean.
Well, of course. I'm telling you, I get crap in my house. I could take better care of myself. So there's no reason to stay married, except to hold on to half my money. And I don't even care about that anymore. Or maybe for the kids.
Yeah, you got to take care of them anyway.
Yeah, I'll take care of them. In fact, I'll be a better father to them once I'm out of the house.
Yeah, once a week you'll be real good.
Real good. Now I'm horrible all the time.
Be healthy.
Well, now that I'm ordering, do you want a cup of ice with that? Sometimes it's good to put ice on it.
No, I don't think so. Okay. Just give me some fresh squeeze. As long as you're getting it.
No, I'm getting it. It's no problem.
All right, man, thanks. When you talk to him, there's this constant noise running underneath you. It's like...
I think he has to start going to get started.
Yeah, he goes, no. He's like, I'll get you.
It's like
you want that?
You want it? No, I don't want that.
I didn't hear that.
I just did Tropicana.
That's what I drink.
He's getting us all worked up. He's getting citrus. It's like, wow, citrus.
Health plan.
Yeah. But I swear to you, like, if my wife had just, like, walked into a room with fresh squeezed orange juice, I would have died and gone to heaven. My mother used to do that for me. When I was sick, my mother would actually go out and buy the oranges and sit there and squeeze them.
You get that great soup and all that stuff. You didn't get any good chicken soup?
No, well, my wife went out to Ben's and bought some soup.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Did she let you have some?
Yeah. And then, like, she goes, I bought matzo ball soup, like the chicken noodle matzo ball soup.
Right.
She buys 2 matzo balls. And then my kids want some, so I never get any. I mean, I said, honey, why don't you go crazy and get 12 matzo ball soups? It's salted water.
She's always frugal.
Yeah, she's frugal. She's frugal. She goes, well, I didn't know how much you'd want to eat. And
let's split this matzo ball among 6 people.
She goes, last time I bought it, it all went to waste. I go, so it'll go to waste.
Frugal to a fault.
Yeah, frugal to the point where I have nothing to eat in the house. Ugh.
She's saving your money.
Yeah, well, I was thinking because I could have been sick for the week, And by this weekend, I'll be all better. I'll be on a date with Amy Lynn. That'll get me cured quick. I have no reason to get better now.
There was no incentive, nothing waiting for you.
Yeah, I got to have Amy Lynn. How quick does she get over here?
By the time you're ready for her, you'll need somebody else because she won't be Amy Lynn anymore.
I know. She'll be an old hag.
She'll be Marilyn Chambers.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking at the newspaper this morning. And the funniest thing is Mike Tyson got out of jail.
Yeah.
And now he's like wearing a yarmulke and everything because he's a Muslim. And now, you know, Mike Tyson just can't get out of jail and like mellow out for a couple of days and just, you know, assess his life. Gets out of jail. He's dumping Don King, which is, you know, fine. Who cares? But he's now got a new guy he prays to. It's not Don King anymore. He's got a guy called Mohammed Sadiq.
Right, I knew that Sadiq name. I had read that a couple of times in a couple of these accounts.
Yeah, Mike Tyson, he got out of jail, and they're saying he's abandoned Don King. He's now following... Can't a guy get out of jail and not follow anybody?
Not Mike Tyson.
No.
He's got to follow somebody.
He's already got somebody. He's like a moron.
Yeah.
He's like the world's stupidest human.
Well, look at his history. When there was, you know, when he first came on the scene, he was a follower of that Customato. And then he started following Robin Givens.
Right.
And then Don King got a hold of him.
And whoever gets a hold of him, you know, he's the guy.
Yeah.
But evidently Don King is freaking out because Mike Tyson gets out of jail. And so now he's a Muslim.
Yeah.
You know, now,
there were all those rumors that they kept denying while he was in jail that he was a Muslim, and now he is.
So now his new Muslim slave masters will take him over and rake him through the coals. But at least, you know, it'll be some new guys getting some money.
It was interesting to me that, like, an entourage, including that Guardian Association, black cops from New York, went to guard Mike Tyson as he was getting out of jail.
They should have guarded him when he was in jail.
Yeah, they should have guarded him when he was on the street, and maybe he wouldn't be in jail.
So anyway, he comes out of jail and he's wearing a whole new yarmulke. They used to call it a yarmulke. I guess black guys call it a kufi.
A prayer cap. No, that's a prayer cap.
Prayer cap. So Don King is all excited that Tyson's getting out, and he goes, hey, you know, let me kiss my man's ass a little bit. He decides to throw a big party at Tyson's farm. Tyson evidently has a 60-acre farm somewhere in Indiana or something.
Cleveland, something?
Yeah, something like that. Good place for farming.
Bunch of rocks, probably.
Yeah. So Tyson gets out of jail, and Don King follows Tyson, and they go up to this, I don't know, this farm, and Don King's got like a bunch of like really nice shellfish, 2 big bottles of Dom Perignon.
Right, yeah.
Some lamb, some... Everything that a Muslim doesn't eat, like pork, shellfish, and champagne, they're not allowed to drink. All of a sudden, now, Mike Tyson has gone from being this party animal. Now he can't eat anything, he can't drink anything, he's got to wear a yarmulke 24 hours a day. You know, now it's got to be one extreme or another.
But you know what the most amazing thing is to me?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson has a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
I thought he was in jail.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's a medical student.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, on his first day of freedom in 3 years, Tyson wasted no time showing he intends to start a new life. Within 9 hours of his release from the Indiana Youth Center. Oh,
boy. Now, what kind of name is that?
Tyson brought Allah into his life and asked Don King to leave his house. Tyson first got out, made a visit to a Plainfield, Indiana mosque. He had to go to a mosque.
Right, there was this whole caravan with the police and everything, because I heard that the limo they put him in, Don King had arranged for that, and that, too, had champagne chili.
And shellfish. Like every mistake. So this offended Mike Tyson greatly because now he's a Muslim. Now everyone should be a Muslim.
Yeah.
And poor Don King's like, you know, hey, I'm the only one here who's sprung for anything, and I'm getting the crap beat out of me. Anyway, okay, so they stop off at a mosque, whatever that is. And that was to send a powerful message to all of his devotees that he is now a Muslim.
You might as well put former friend in front of that.
Yeah. A few hours later, Tyson sent King packing and abruptly canceled the celebration party King had planned at Tyson's 60-acre Ohio estate. That was a strong signal that besides having a new religion, a new look, and a new girlfriend, Tyson will soon have a new promoter. King got down on his knees at a mosque Saturday morning. He was trying his best. But by afternoon, he was flat on his back, sources inside Tyson's 20-room mansion told the Post. At 3:30, King and the Showtime television crew he had brought into Tyson's home were in a car headed back to King's estate in nearby Orwell. So Don King brought in a whole camera crew and stuff.
What was that all about? The guy can't get home without facing a camera?
I don't know. Soon afterward, word went out to Salt and Pepper and Hammer to get the hell out of the house.
Yeah.
That there was going to be no party. Because Salt and Pepper and Hammer were going to be there.
Yeah, it was some welcoming committee.
Yeah. Tyson opted to spend his first day at home with Monica Turner, a 28-year-old medical student at Georgetown University.
Now, how does she get to be Mike Tyson's girlfriend?
I don't know.
In jail.
But I'm sure that she'll be falling by. I don't care how much of a Muslim conversion he's had. He's going to be going out and getting some tookie.
You know, how you can't change everything overnight.
Everything was in place for a fantastic party. It was arranged thinking that's what Mike would want. But he's a changed man. Now he's a new man. He's a changed man for a day.
It's going to be tough. You know, he hasn't seen the real world yet. It was easy to be Muslim in prison.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to deny yourself champagne and pork in prison. Wait till you get out.
Women.
Yeah.
In prison, I stayed with one woman.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. Most guys would like to have a woman in prison.
Everybody's well behaved in prison.
But you should see, like these pictures, he comes out, he's all serious, and he's got the yarmulke on.
I heard he even had a little mustache,
Yeah.
a beard, you know.
Yeah.
Changed everything.
Yeah. He's now Muhammad Ali. A changed Tyson is bad news for King. Hey, Gary, see if you can get Don King on the phone.
Oh, he probably still flat on his back.
Think so? Why was he flat on his back?
Well, he just lost millions.
Yeah, I guess that'd put me flat on my back.
Knock the wind out of anybody.
They say King's desperation was obvious and pathetic. Yeah, like none of us would be all over the guy. Nothing compared to King's error-filled performance on the day of Tyson's release. As Tyson emerged from the prison at 6:17 Saturday morning, bearded and wearing a white knit kufi, an Islamic prayer skull cap on his shaven head, King could be seen behind Tyson with his talon-like hands grasping the fighter's shoulders. Then Tyson, against King's wishes, commanded his 15-car motorcade to turn left out of the prison and toward the Islamic Society of North America Mosque. He had to go to a mosque immediately. What?
Don King's like a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
This won't kill him. Because I just called the number.
Yeah.
And it's disconnected.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He can't pay his phone bill. I don't know, man, because you always read that Don King's a millionaire, but then, like, he's always in financial trouble.
Yeah, it always seems that he's just this far ahead of the bill collectors.
I think he could have used the Tyson role, you know, right now. So Tyson gets out of prison and immediately goes to this mosque. Which is really just another prison. Mosque. The North American Mosque. King of Baptists took a place in the prayer ring and bowed his shaggy head to the carpet in tribute to Allah. So
He'll do anything.
Yeah, right.
He would convert. All he has to do is be told.
Yeah. So evidently he was bowing to Allah. Everyone was bowing to Allah, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be trouble.
And then on the bottom right-hand corner of the paper, it says, the ex-champ prays with his spiritual advisor, Minister Muhammad Sadiq. And Minister Sadiq has blonde hair.
Is he black?
Yeah. Maybe it's gray hair, but it looks blonde in this picture. They should have just police sketches of all of Mike's friends, all his new Muslim friends. And you see his new guy, his new spiritual advisor, is like, he's wearing a paisley shirt with like a prison jacket.
Him, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, wait, what kind of spiritual advisor is that?
Like he should have gone into prison.
At least Farrakhan wears a bow tie.
It's so funny because Mike, that hat looks like there should be one of those propellers.
All of a sudden now he's super Muslim. He just can't be like a regular Muslim. Now he's got to be like,
or gradually going to the conversion. You know, all of a sudden it's like a major.
Yeah. That's a whole lifestyle change.
Everybody will be watching him, and when he screws up, the whole group will get smeared.
Yeah. Don King wants to become a Muslim, but he can't get a kufi over that hair. They're still trying to figure out how.
That's sort of floating up there.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a big giant kufi on top of the hair. It's impossible to get on there. So Don King's like flipping out. Mike Tyson's now super Muslim.
And what do you think, that the guy came to the prison with that hat in his pocket, so he just whipped it out and Mike threw it on his head?
No, I think Mike had that in prison.
You think so?
Yeah, it looked like a worn-in kufi.
I didn't know how he got that thing on so fast.
Yep. Mike is one dumb, stupid human. Dumber than Eddie Murphy.
And he used to walk around saying he could be anything he wanted to be. Remember those days when he said, I could be a brain surgeon if I wanted to be?
I could have been a doctor. Remember that? He went on Arsenio and said, I could have been a doctor. I could have been anything. I realize that now. Yeah, sure. You can't even read past the second grade level. You might need to read, like, the size of those aspirin bottles in order to prescribe.
Hey, good morning, Howard.
South Dakota, you're on the air.
No, this is San Diego.
Oh, I saw SD. I couldn't make it out. Sorry. Thought we were on in South Dakota.
Hey, man, we missed you.
Yeah. You were away.
Hey, maybe we added a few new markets.
Yeah, hey, we missed you out here, man.
Hey, by the way, let's review where we're on. Because, you know, we added so many new markets right before I got sick. I don't remember where we are.
Well, San Diego's one of them. Miami was another.
Phoenix.
Los Angeles.
Oh, I forgot about Phoenix.
Yeah, Los Angeles. Dallas, El Paso.
Cleveland.
We
Albany.
never talk about El Paso. I had completely forgotten that one.
And we're already number one there.
D.C.
Washington,
D.C.,
yeah.
Philly, Phoenix,
Baltimore.
Buffalo, New Orleans.
Where are we else in? Albany.
Orlando, Miami.
Boston, did we say that one?
Boston.
San Francisco / San Jose.
Yeah.
San Jose, San Francisco. Hello. Hello, everybody. We could have been on in Salt Lake City like a year ago, but everyone thought that the
That
FCC,
wasn't a good idea.
Well, because of the Mormons.
Yeah.
But we could have been on in there. We got an offer.
Did we say Philly?
Philly.
Yeah, you said Philly.
Did we say San Jose, San Francisco?
Yep.
Yes, we did. Hey, Howard.
Myrtle Beach.
Oh, yeah. And New Orleans.
I said that.
Oh, no.
But I'll say it again. New Orleans.
You got Dallas.
New York. Baltimore.
We're just repeating now.
D.C.
Miami.
Let's say them all.
We did leave out one, though.
What?
No.
Phoenix.
You said that.
Well, I know there's a lot of them. And I'm sure we did leave out some.
I'm sure we did.
Yeah.
Hey, did you watch a lot of O.J. when you were sick?
I said Rochester.
You said Rochester.
Tom, I can't hear you, pal. God love you.
Rochester, Buffalo, Albany.
I know
We
I
said
said that all.
Albany. We forgot Rochester.
I don't need your help. Come on, get out of here. Mr. Tan.
I know, he looks like he's burned up.
Yeah.
Looks like a roasted peanut.
All the guys in management went to Hawaii to learn junk. They had a managers meeting in Hawaii. And they learned nothing.
What did Tom talk to you about his trip?
No, he tried to, but I was so sick I couldn't even listen. He goes, I just wanted you to know I'm back. I go, like, who cares?
Sure did enough golfing.
Hey, Tom, what'd you learn on your management meeting? Why don't you come in and tell everyone?
Yeah, we like to know how the company's spending its money.
Yeah, spending all the money we make.
Learned how to keep his arms stiff so he won't slice the ball.
Right. You learned nothing. Name one thing you learned that you didn't know before you left.
Well, we had a great seminar on negotiation.
Yeah.
We had a great seminar on personality profiles and how to deal with different kinds of personalities.
When you say you had a great seminar on negotiation, like who are you negotiating with?
No, we had an outside speaker.
Yeah, but I mean, who are you negotiating with, really?
Negotiating with?
All the time.
Yeah, with the radio personalities? I mean, most of them are basically...
Advertisers.
Oh, I see. For sales, you mean?
Right.
Oh,
okay. Because I was going to say, did they teach Tom to say any more than cost of living?
I don't know, yeah, because that's what Tom's negotiating is. Tom goes, all right, I tell you what, it's been a year, and even though a lot of people around here aren't getting a raise, I'm going to give you 5% for cost of living. And then everyone goes, isn't cost of living 7%? All right, you win. 7%. And that's his negotiation. Yeah.
The new line is, it's not the money, it's the money.
What do you mean?
When you negotiate, it's not the money you're negotiating for, it's the money you're negotiating for. And I care, but not that much.
What's he talking about?
Stupid oxymoron.
You can remove the oxy. Why be polite?
his life.
What are you talking about? Obviously, you learned something, but
Right.
you're not articulating it.
Well, I mean, this speaker teaches you that when you're negotiating,
Go ahead.
if people who tell you it's not the money that they're negotiating about,
Right.
that's not true. It's
And
always the
Jackie
money.
always says that. Jackie
Right.
goes, it's not about the money.
Exactly.
But when
it's
does
about the
Jackie
money.
sign?
Yeah,
You come
but
up
it's
with
about
the
the money.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
It's not about the money, because I don't really care about money. You know, you're right about that.
Right,
He always says that. He always goes, you know,
I don't care. It's not the money, Tom.
you know,
but, you know.
yeah, I want to feel like, hey,
He never meant that much to
Right.
me.
if I make 10 more or 10 less, it ain't going to make a big difference.
Great, no problem. Then what's the problem?
Yeah,
Jackie?
right. Yeah.
He's always leaving about the money.
Yeah, well, I decided if I stay with the company, and that means probably, Jackie would be up for another negotiation, just let Jackie go. I've come to grips
You're
with
tired
it.
of negotiating, Jackie.
Yeah, I've come to grips with it.
Too much of an emotional strain on you, too.
Hey, is that my citrus?
Yes.
Let me
It looks
see.
fresh squeezed.
Freshly squeezed.
Thanks, bro.
That's orange?
Looks like vomit.
No, that's how it looks when it's freshly squeezed.
That's real orange juice?
Yes.
I like it better the other way.
I know.
I don't like real oranges.
I don't like real oranges.
Smell like the Korean's hand?
Yeah, in all seriousness. Yeah. In all seriousness,
Yeah.
I don't want to even hear about another Jackie
No
negotiation.
problem.
Because you know what? I'm sure Jackie's doing real well, and there's no pleasing him anyway, so I would give up.
Hold on.
Okay.
No, seriously.
When is
Don't-
that coming up?
I don't know.
promise- I
Well,
promise-
probably the same time mine's coming up.
You have my word. I won't even tell you it's going on.
Because I do.
Because you'll know.
Yeah, I don't even want to know. I don't even listen. When it comes to my negotiation, supposed negotiation, I know how it goes. I go like this. I go, well, okay. I know what these guys are basically paying me. They've already said to me, this is how much money we make, and this is how much we're going to pay you. And if you want it, you can keep it. If not, you can leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I go for. I usually wait a day or two, and I go, I don't know, and then I go, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because I basically know that's what I'm going to get.
That's it.
But Jackie's seem to go on insufferably long.
And they're difficult.
Yeah, and there's always big decisions between him and his
and
wife.
then Jackie comes in and he's obnoxious and angry on the
right.
air.
Yeah.
It's always not the money.
I don't know how to be. Yeah, and then finally Jackie comes to me after 10 months with Tom, and he goes, look, I can't work it out, and it's not about the money.
Right.
And
I've
it's
been
really...
working without a contract.
So then I try and jump in and save the day and everything, but I've had it with him.
The thing that kills me, though, is why does it affect us? He's negotiating with Tom.
I know, but I'm always the one who gets involved.
But even if that's off the air, I'm talking about on the air when he comes in angry and he stops talking to us in the hall.
Oh, well,
We're
funny.
not negotiating with him.
I don't know. I always think he's just taking it out on me. I didn't realize he takes it out on you,
Oh,
too.
yeah, he stops talking to everybody.
Oh. Yeah, well, you know what it is? I just don't know what to do. If I say something, everyone thinks everything's okay. If I don't say something, then at least people know something's going on.
I can't believe you don't have a movie. You guys are such good script writers.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, none of this sounds familiar to you.
The rap is actually, because I got it one time.
Yeah.
I mean, he likes me because I can't really control the money.
Right.
But
So you're all right.
I don't like you guys.
one time he said something like, I go, Jackie, what's the matter? I'm not talking to anybody. And he's like, I can't feel good. I can't pretend to be in a good mood when I know this is going on.
Oh. Right.
It's not you per se, but it's like he's so bummed out about it that he can't pretend to be in a good mood.
But when his wife's pussy whipping him every day, he can pretend to be in a good mood around here.
Talk about bringing the whole show down.
Right.
God.
I didn't check my watch. Isn't it March?
Yeah, but we're just preparing for you. So, I don't know what you learned about negotiating, but do me a favor. Leave me out of that
No
one.
problem. Okay.
What
All
was
right.
the other thing he said? When they say it's not the money, it is the money. And what was the other one?
I care. I really care, Jackie, but not that much.
Oh, I see.
I don't get that one.
I mean, it's
I
price.
really think, but not
Right.
that well.
No. It's price. I want this. Well, I really care about it, but I don't care that much about it.
In other words, hey, I'm not going to stay if you don't give me my money. And you go,
Right.
I care, but I don't care that much.
Right, exactly.
Boy, oh, boy. And he was tough before.
Yeah. Hey. Well, obviously you did learn something.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
No, evidently. I wouldn't want to be... Who's next in negotiation around here? Any of the other DJs coming up before
Billy
us? Is Billy West the next to negotiate?
I've been here for a year.
Is it your time? Why don't you ask Tom for some money?
Oh, Tom.
Hey, Billy.
You'll be hearing from my solicitor.
And you know what his answer is?
I care.
I care, but I don't care that much. What is it, Ralph? You can't possibly be involved in this conversation.
I think I can. I'm not sure, but Tom was asking me something about a costume before he left. I think they have a costume contest.
Oh, yeah, right.
Really?
Did you have your costume contest?
Absolutely.
Did you help him, Ralph?
No, because I guess he got sick. I don't know. He asked me one day, and then he never asked.
What did he want to be? A Ninja Turtle?
You know what? No, I dropped it because I knew this would happen.
Uncle Fester.
Did he really?
Yeah.
You want to be Uncle Fester?
Absolutely.
Tom, why did you want to be Uncle Fester? Why did you want to be Uncle Fester?
Because it just seemed like that's what came to me. I don't know
It's
why.
about the costume, but it's not really about
He's
the
not
costume.
as bright as Uncle Fester.
Right.
I was going to say,
Who is this idiot in San Diego, by the way?
I don't know. But why, out of all the characters that I know that you love,
I don't know.
why did you prefer Uncle Fester? Did you want to walk around with a light bulb in your mouth?
Exactly.
So who did you end up being at the contest?
Uncle Fester.
Oh, you did end up being Uncle Fester.
You did it all by yourself.
Absolutely.
Get like a bald cap or?
Yep.
Yeah. You got a bald cap and a light bulb?
And a light bulb to put in my mouth, make it go on.
Did you make yourself fatter?
Yeah.
Did you have like a one of those
a monk's robe?
A monk's
and you
robe.
talk in that high voice.
Yeah.
And let's hear the
it's
voice.
hard to talk with. No, it's hard to talk with a light bulb in your mouth.
Did you talk like this?
How did you talk? What was the voice?
I talked. Ooh, yeah, I can't. I had the light bulb in my mouth. I couldn't talk.
Do you think there's any chance you could get Tom to come in like that?
No. Come on. No, there's no chance.
Yeah.
Did you win?
Tom's upset his light bulb will go off.
Who won the contest?
Marilyn Monroe.
Who was that, Ed?
No.
Who was Marilyn Monroe?
Another manager.
Who? Oedipus?
No, a guy in Chicago.
Tony Berardini?
No.
No. Who do we have in Chicago?
We have a bunch of stations in Chicago. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's too bad.
Why?
No, I didn't know. That's too bad I didn't know that. I'm not on any of them.
No.
No. But very good, Tom. Okay. Congratulations.
Glad you
Uncle
learned
Fester.
something. It was a total waste to send you off.
Good for you.
Actually, I dropped it because I knew Ralph would be in here.
Right.
I knew it.
All right, very good.
Well, you started it. That was enough.
Uncle Fester, ladies and gentlemen, let's call him Uncle Fester.
I was going to say, can't he wear that outfit every day?
Yeah.
And when he's upset, the light bulb will go off.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Hey, Jackie, doesn't look like you'll be getting away with any good negotiation this year.
I should have hijacked that plane.
He's
Talk
ready
about
for
no
you.
leverage.
Hey, Tom, I'm not looking for leverage. I'm not looking for anything. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter to you what I get, but it matters to me.
You know,
I stopped dealing with Tom and dealing
I'm important.
Right. It has nothing to do with the money. I want to feel like I'm as important at least as Fred. I know I make more of a contribution than Fred.
It's respect.
Right.
And then you got to consider the drain on my life. I never get to see my wife.
Yeah, like that's a prize.
I'm like, Tom cares. That's
Yeah.
not his problem.
Yeah, I like when Jackie he doesn't get to see his wife.
Can't sit on my piece of wood. He's the worst negotiator.
I can't sit on my piece of wood.
Yeah. When I'm out there in the summer and the water's beating down in the sun.
We haven't had a vacation.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah. And it's like why would Tom care if Jackie has a vacation?
You know, I know you guys goof on me all the time, but you know, you really don't have a life when you do this job.
The hardest part about negotiating with Tom is sitting there waiting for him to leave the room and go find out what his answer is.
What are you going to do with all this fodder?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
All right, dude, I got to go.
Oh, hey, one more thing you got to talk about is this Jesse Jackson idiot. He
Yeah.
needs to get his nose into this OJ business somehow.
Well, since I was sick, I watched OJ a lot. I'll talk about that when I get back.
Yeah, and don't you want to shake Kato Kaelin? Don't you just want to grab him by the throat and say, come on, dude, what's the truth?
We finally found somebody stupider than Tom.
Oh.
Kato Kaelin. Boy, is that guy dumb.
He's just playing dumb.
Yeah. No, he's not playing dumb. He's dumb.
Dumb.
He's stupid.
You really think so? You know he has a line with the chicks, though.
That's why I don't. I know he has a lineup of chicks. That's what makes me sick. I tell you something. That's what makes me sick about this whole thing. I'm sitting there watching the O.J. Simpson thing, and I'm sick and everything. And I said, you know what? This is the last. This Kato Kaelin comes on. Let me talk about this when I get back.
Yeah, we got
All right. Hey, was I a good phone caller?
No. All right, we'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show.
What am I talking about? Snapple? Good. I love Snapple. You know what I love? The citrus. They have different citrus flavors.
Citrus?
Snapple.
I love the iced teas. I had some friends over yesterday, and I served the iced teas and the lemonades.
You know, they did a sketch about me and Robin on Saturday Night Live with Rush, Fat, Pumpkinhead Limbaugh.
Yeah.
And Dan Aykroyd played Limbaugh, and Michael McKean played me, and that woman, I don't know, Ellen Cleghorn played you. Is that her name, Ellen Cleghorn? Is that the one that plays you?
I don't know her name.
So, they hit something on the head, I'll tell you that. How this fat Pumpkinhead even ripped off my sponsor, Snapple.
Yeah, I've heard him talking about it.
And of course, Fa-Fa-Foo, you didn't come to my defense in the sketch, but...
Hey, wait a minute now. They wrote that.
Because they perceive something.
Hey, they're going with reality.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Robin was against you as well in that sketch.
Not like you were. Snapple is made from the best stuff on earth. I have been drinking it for a real long time, and I'm telling you, even the fruit juices are all natural. I love Snapple. I would drink Snapple any time. My refrigerator is stocked with Snapple. You know, when I was sick, I had Snapple.
Did you replace your electrolytes with Snapple?
No. Dope. Stupid. It's stupider than ever.
I just wanted to make you feel.
No, I just had I had the Snapple fruit drinks. The fruit juice. And it was all natural. That's what I love about it. You know, these other drinks, they don't have the all natural. They load it up with all kinds of preservatives.
And a lot of times it's not all juice.
That's right. I want the juice.
You know what you should have had that would have been good for you? The Vitamin Supreme.
Yes, I had that.
That's a good one.
That was made me feel better. My fever came down. Snapple, made from the best stuff on earth.
The most important radio show of the century.
Thank you.
The Howard Stern Show.
The most important radio show ever in the history of radio. The most important OJ stories on this show. I will analyze Kato Kaelin in just a minute. Now it's time for Jackie the Joke Man news. To order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD or cassette, it's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special, buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING this Friday, March 31st. Two big shows at Slapsticks in Baltimore, Maryland. For jokes and info, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service. I love that music. It's great. Thank you. Thank you. Having some vocal problems. I'm not 100% Robin, but I came in anyway because I'm very dedicated to my work.
You know what's funny? The day that you first announced that you were ill, that Thursday, last time we were on the air, you got the thermometer and you took your temperature. Well, I could hardly breathe that day. And I said, oh, look at him over there. He's just complaining, and I'm sicker than he is.
Yeah.
So I went home and I bought my own thermometer.
Yeah.
And I took my temperature, and it was 97.2.
So you felt bad.
I felt awful. I said, oh, I'm really sorry. He was really sick.
And by the way, that doesn't mean I can't have a relapse. I might be suffering a relapse.
Oh, dear.
I'm already in the middle of a relapse. That week was a relapse.
That's true. Because you had already had something.
I got a whole bunch of snot in my nose, I'll tell you that. Want to see?
It just seems to linger. And you do. You keep staying in your nose and in your chest. You still got a cough?
Yeah. But I've only coughed during the commercials, being the professional that I am.
Very good.
Thank you. I have the flu. Even with the flu, I'm funnier than the other shows normal. All the other shows were happy because for the first time they were competitive, but then they forgot about Best Of. Even Best Of, even our reruns are better than their original programming.
You know, it's really funny. We were talking about that variety telethon off the air, but the variety telethon happened this weekend, and because of Cousin Brucey, there are a lot of disc jockeys who come on the show. And that's when you get most frightened about being in radio, when you see other disc jockeys.
Who was on that?
Oh, God, I mean, nobody of real note, because Brucey wouldn't have anybody on you'd really recognize, but he has these guys from CD 101.9 and WLIB out on Long Island, or whatever, BLI, whatever that station is out on Long Island, and they come on and you see real disc jockeys and you think, oh, my God, I'm in the same industry.
Yeah, it's bad. It's very embarrassing.
Very sad.
It's very sad what they're up to. Big, deep-voiced guys with nothing to say.
Yeah. If you're having fun with me and Jim in the morning, Call us now at Variety Telethon and give money for the kids.
Yeah. It's hard to give money to guys with big, deep voices that have nothing to say and bad toupees. Cousin Brucey wearing what kind of hair this year?
Oh, he was, had a very nice coif.
Yeah.
That was, all the colors matched.
Yeah.
So he had just had a nice dye job on all of his hair.
Must be a new sponsor came on and gave him a free wig.
But it was all the hair's on one side.
Yeah.
And then the other side is kind of flat. He parts it. And so a mass of hair is over here, and then this is very flat, so it's kind of funny looking. But Mrs. Brucey was on. I had never seen Mrs. Brucey before.
Is she nice?
She was attractive, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like his third wife, isn't it?
Probably. And then the other thing was Soupy Sales was on.
Who's now 137 years old. Was he on? Was he a big star?
Oh, yeah, they actually gave Soupy his own spot to come on and beg for money for the children.
I love kids. And kids, when I was years ago, I used to entertain children.
I have 2 of my own.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I have 2 of my own. Yeah, they're covered in tattoos.
I'm very lucky.
Yeah. Super Sales, Civil War veteran. I have children of my own. I'm very lucky. Man, he must have been some great dad.
And my grandchildren are all healthy.
But not all of us is that lucky. So we should all contribute to the Cousin Brucey Fund.
We have that on tape if you want it.
Oh yeah,
Cousin Brucey and Soupy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
Because the funniest thing to me was Soupy, gives his great appeal for the money, but then he almost forgets to plug himself.
Oh.
And he goes, oh, oh, oh.
And then he does about 10 minutes of plugs.
Where is he? What is Soupy plugging?
In little rooms and restaurants.
Little worse than Jackie rooms.
Oh, really?
Lower than Chuckles.
So he's asking for money for himself, at the same time he's asking for money for kids.
Right, exactly.
And I'll be at the
Treehouse.
Elena's restaurant in Detroit.
Is that right?
Yeah. And Brucey had to, push him off.
Oh, really?
Get out of here already. Enough.
Yeah, because he's giving dates way down the road.
He's not even working comedy clubs anymore. He's working tables at restaurants.
Really?
I'll go get it.
I'm going to be having a meal at an Italian restaurant in a couple of weeks. I'd like you to stop by at my table, say hi.
I stand up and toast you.
Yeah. I'll give you a special blessing. A rabbinical blessing. Soupy Sales blessing.
And he told some really bad jokes and nobody laughed.
Oh, is that right?
It was awful, yeah.
Yeah, Soupy.
Yeah, Cousin Brucey, this disc jockey here in New York, runs a variety telethon. It's like some telethon for kids. They don't even know what the disease is. Generally just kids. And Kathy Lee Gifford shows up.
Yes, and when they handed off to Kathy Lee, thank you, Soupster.
Is that what she said? She is such a crow. When I was laying in bed, I watched that Regis and Kathy Lee every day, and every day I'm sitting there watching it going, I don't believe this.
Yeah.
I can't believe this woman is such a vomit. But, she's easy to look at. That's what the whole thing is. I mean, she's an idiot.
Thank you, Soupster.
She gets on there, and she's evidently somebody sent her a copy of each movie that is Academy Award nominated.
Yeah.
She knows someone who's part of the Academy Awards, like you do.
Yeah.
So Robin knows somebody, too, because I saw Pulp Fiction because of that. Anyway, it seems Kathy Lee had all the Academy Award nominated movies, and she was going to sit at home and watch them because she wants to be well-versed in what's nominated because she is, after all, a broadcaster. So she decides that she's going to watch Pulp Fiction and give her review the next day. So I go, all right, I'll watch. Let me hear her review. She gets on, she goes, I couldn't watch it. I watched 25 minutes of it, or something like that.
Right.
And I couldn't watch it. It was so negative. I was like, what planet did she drop in from? What do you mean negative? Nothing negative about it. I mean, it's a story of, 2 guys who are, mobsters, gangsters, but what are you talking about? It's a movie, you nitwit, empty-headed bimbo. And it's like one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
I just couldn't, there's so much ugliness in the world. Why can't things be pleasant in our film? It's just like, what is she, Mrs. Eisenhower?
Maybe.
I mean, what is she, completely naive? Where did she grow up? At first when she said she couldn't watch it, I thought she was too stupid to put the tape in the machine. Her and that Frank.
Frank doesn't know about electricity.
Yeah.
12.
What do you mean?
12.
Over and over again. And she's on there. Oh, and this Pulp Fiction is terrible. And I just said, who is she? Who is she to give her opinion? Stupid cow. You are so lucky you're good looking. No one would put up with her. And even Regis Philbin can't stand her. You can just see it.
Know. That was, because I
watched
a couple of their interchanges.
Yeah.
Well, I was at home during the week, and it's just so obvious that they hate each other.
Yeah, they hate each other. He can't get a word out. She's completely carried away with herself.
Funny,
yeah, that laugh. She's like, yeah. She's now got, she's forced herself into a new laugh.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Yeah. I mean, and if Regis was ever happening, it had to be like 1926. Hasn't been any time recently.
And then she says, on the telephone, she says, everybody asks me if Regis is as funny in person as he is on that TV show. And I say he's funnier. You should see him during the commercials.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he's a scream.
Why would he save his funniest stuff for the commercials?
Because he's an imbecile, just like she is. Two nitwits who's saving their best material for the commercials. If he says something funny during the commercials, get back on the air and say it.
Why wouldn't you repeat it?
Because he's a nitwit. And she's as dumb as a wall.
And I constantly heard about this Cody Gifford house.
I know.
When you built Cody Gifford house, Kathy Lee,
and
Cody. Now we have Cody Gifford house.
Can you imagine naming? You're so in love with your little sperm and egg. She has to name all of these houses after. She names these charities after her children. These little spoiled brats who I hope grow up to be heroin addicts. Cody Gifford, I hope, grows up to be a gay heroin addict. So we can prove once and for all what a crummy mother she is. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Kathy Lee.
I'm sorry. I had to bring it up. It suddenly just overcame me. I'm going to get through this without crying this year.
Did she get through it without crying?
She tried to tear up, but the woman started talking happy talk. So she couldn't do it. I wondered why my little Cody was born to privilege and health when this AIDS baby was not.
Is that what she said? That bitch. I wish he would have been born with AIDS. I wish he would have been born with incurable AIDS. Why did my Cody get born with incurable AIDS?
It's just not fair.
Yo, let's make it fair. Let's make him have AIDS. That bitch.
And I said to you, are all these babies going to die? And you said yes.
Who said yes?
The woman she was talking to, who helps over at Cody Gifford house, I suppose.
I'd like to stick some nitroglycerin in her tampon. Put nitro in her tampon and watch her explode.
And you said yes.
Oh, is she a retard? She reminds me of every Pollyanna simpering mother that I had to grow up with when I was a kid. Used to sit there and fawn all over their monsters.
Yeah.
That kid Cody, I hope he grows up to be the monster I think he's going to grow up to be. I really do, because whenever you spoil a kid that much or start naming charity houses after him and you think you're that important as a kid growing up, you become like, Dennis the Menace.
Berserker.
Yeah, Berserker.
That's right, he shaves his head and becomes a skinhead.
Yeah, Berserker. Tattoos Berserker into his head.
Zig Heil in the forehead.
Zig Heil. Yeah, one day on Geraldo, Kathy Lee will come on, and then Cody will be about 20. And he'll come on, and he'll have a bag on his head, and he'll remove it, and he'll have a skinhead, and he'll have Zig Heil written across his head.
Hello, Mom.
He'll be like, Mom, I have a secret to tell you. I'm a skinhead. I worship Adolf Hitler. Oh, Mom. Oh, Hitler was right. And, Mom, you're the first Jew I'm going to kill. A big football blows tattooed onto his ass cheek. Because his old man drove him nuts. Cody, don't you think you should play football like I did? Dad, I don't think so because the guys found out I'm gay and they want to beat me up.
Yeah, guess what is happening over at Cody Gifford House?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be great if Cody Gifford House turned out to be like a gay front? Yeah, gay crack den. Yeah, like after a couple of years, it kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
And,
a little rundown.
Yeah, some of the office workers there are doing crack, and then they sort of gay sex ring.
Really?
Cody Gifford House.
They can see me now.
You know what? I want to talk about Kato Kaelin, but I got to take a break.
Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't hold back.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I just had to talk about that telethon.
Yeah, that's some telethon. I missed it. We'll be back right after this.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
I am back. I am not healthy, but I am here because I'm very dedicated to my job, which
and
is
you
good.
wanted to dispel all the rumors.
Yeah. I do not have hepatitis, and I do not have AIDS, like Eazy-E from Niggas with Attitudes, who is dead, by the way. And I would have called him today. Actually, I really would have, because we know that guy.
Yeah, I don't think he was talking much.
No, he would have. He would have gotten on the air. I could have gotten him to say a few words. I think he would have said something. Some kind of last words.
Tap on the phone.
Yeah. If you can hear me, say something. So, yeah, we're back. When I'm sick, all the fun stops. I realize how important I am now.
Oh, I got that you think you're very important.
I am.
Yeah, I mean, I realize now that we're just friends on the air here.
That's right.
Because you call over to that house, it's like, oh, Howard isn't taking any calls.
Did you call my house?
Yes. Oh, you see, you don't even know.
I didn't want to talk to you.
I know. I got the message.
I didn't talk to anybody.
I didn't call
Especially
back
you.
again. Didn't call back again.
Every time I got on the phone with you, I had a higher fever.
I tell you one thing, you don't have to hint around much to me.
Yeah, I was actually in the Bahamas with Amy Lynn for a week with a penthouse pet.
I don't doubt it.
Oh, I could use that. That's what I need. I'd be fine. I'd never get sick.
Jackie had already made up an excuse that he and John were working on about why he didn't call.
Yeah, I heard that excuse already. That already got back to me. Jackie didn't call because he knew that everyone would be calling.
Right, and he didn't want to bother you, be in that brigade of people bothering you.
Like Jackie ever calls me anyway.
Yeah, I didn't want to bother you. Well, people are always calling you, aren't they?
Yeah.
So Jackie doesn't want to be like them.
And Fred, I haven't heard from since 1963 anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
But I did make a couple of calls.
Thank you, Fred.
Inquiring.
Thank you.
Passing my best wishes along.
Prove you called.
Call your assistant.
All right.
Why don't they give you... See, that's very awful, really, that the messages don't even get to you.
I don't want those messages.
Oh, boy.
I'm trying to relax.
It wouldn't make you feel better to hear from Fred?
No, not at all. I don't want to hear from Fred. He's the last person I want to hear from when I'm sick.
Figured it might scare you back in the
I was very, very sick. So I had the flu. I didn't have hepatitis, as was reported in the newspaper. And, you know, let me just say a couple of things, because I am not watching that O.J. case anymore. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I'm not watching it. Because first of all, it sickens me. That O.J. is so guilty. If I see him roll his eyes one more time, I'm going to smack him. I'm going to go down to that courthouse myself and smack him right in the head. Roll in the eyes every minute. I never saw a guy, his eyes are going to roll right out of his head. Every minute. He's shocked by everything, O.J. He can't even figure out why he's there.
He's surprised by everything that's said on the stand.
Yeah, shocked. I don't understand. What am I doing here? They go, well, they think Nicole was killed first. He rolls his eyes. No! I killed that bastard first. He should get the guillotine for his acting. And this Kato Kaelin, I got to tell you something. He should be in jail. He obviously knows more than what he's saying. because you can't drag an answer out of this guy. I never saw a bigger retard on my life.
I really think he's addled.
You think he's addle-brained?
Yeah. I really think that he's doing the best he can.
I don't know, but first of all, you listen to this guy's life and it makes you want to puke. Listen to this. They get him on the stand, this addle-brained moron, Zero Kaelin. They get him on the stand, and obviously he's put in endless hours on dyeing that hair, because that's not a normal dye job. That's a dye job. I know about stuff like this. That's a dye job that's a multicolored dye job. He had to put tinfoil. Let me tell you how you get that, because I know about this stuff. You have to go to a beauty parlor and have somebody tinfoil individual strands of your hair in order to get that streaking.
You mean that's a professional job?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. That's multicolored hair. He's got a sweeping hairdo that must have spent 4 or 5 days on.
You know what they do?
What do they do?
They put a skull cap on you and then pull strands of hair
out.
Through the skull cap.
I've
yeah.
seen that done.
They should have tape of that. Looked like Mike Tyson and just got out of prison. Big skull cap. Yeah, he's a Muslim. Prays to a moose.
Dumb as a moose.
So he gets on the stand and they say to him, okay, reconstruct your day. And with much pain, and now I see why the guy can't talk. Here's the guy's day. First, I guess he does his hair. That they didn't bring out. Then he says he's on the phone to Rachel. In the middle of being on the phone to Rachel, he hangs up because OJ is there. And OJ is going to get a hamburger. Now, so far, all he's done all day is been on the phone. He woke up, he's on the phone to Rachel. OJ's going to get
Did they talk all day? Because OJ came pretty late.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they got the phone bill. They even have a big chart with the phone bill of this moron. And for over an hour and a half, he's on with Rachel. Until OJ comes in and says something about food. So he says, okay, can I go with you? He goes, he gets a hamburger, comes back, and what does he do? He calls Rachel. Now, here's a guy who's on the stand, he can't say 2 words, but he's on the phone an hour and a half to 2 hours at a clip with Rachel.
Like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Always on the phone.
He's any guy with that much practice talking should be able to get 3 words out on the stand. I said, what is this guy talking about on the phone? He can't even say 2 words. I guess Rachel must do all the talking.
What killed me was, they kept asking him, well, what was OJ's demeanor, at any given time? He says, well, he said that he couldn't talk to Sidney and that Nicole wouldn't let him talk to Sidney. And they said, we didn't ask you what he was saying. We asked you about his demeanor.
He won't answer.
Well, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, he won't answer. He goes, well, I told him that... They'll say to him, no, what was OJ's manner at that time? How did he feel at that time? Well, and I told him that that I would. And they go, what? He goes, now this guy, as dumb as he is, I know what you're saying, that he's addle-brained. He knows what they're asking.
Well, wait a minute. When they asked him about the time, he says, well, I looked at the clock, and the hands were between the 15 and the 20.
Yeah. So,
come on.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, this is a guy who's stupid, but he's not that stupid. Nobody's that stupid. If he's that stupid, when
he's
a guy
doing too good a job of sideswiping the question.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying to him was OJ. First of all, they know that OJ killed someone that night, so they're trying to say to him, did OJ seem upset? Now, obviously, OJ was upset that night. You could tell by the way the guy's avoiding the question. He won't say OJ wasn't upset. He goes, well, OJ said that he tried to Sidney. And they go, what? He tried to Miss Sidney. He says, yes, but was OJ upset? Well, I didn't, because Nicole was with Sidney, and then he was with a bunch of friends. Yeah, spit it. You want to take the guy and pull him by that blonde hair.
You want to shake him.
And here's a guy who's obviously getting lots of chicks and everything.
Robin, do you think he's cute?
No. Big Black.
Big Blackie's on the phone. He's cuter than you, Big Blackie.
Yeah, but if there was a choice between you and Kato, I'd have to take Kato.
All right.
I figured that much.
Right. Because believe me, you're addle-brained, too.
Think of my E! show.
I thought you were good on the E! show.
Yeah?
So anyway, that's the Kato Kaelin story, and this is why I'm not going to listen. I am not. This case cannot take up all of my time. I'm in court. I was in court 9 hours a day when I was sick.
It was the stress that knocked you out.
I swear to God, I cannot tie myself up with this case because it is really a filthy case. It is. This guy is as guilty as sin. The only reason people are thinking he might get off is because it's an all-black jury. I read another lawyer today. He says, you know, at the beginning of this case, I got to tell you, I thought O.J. would be going to prison for the rest of his life. He said, but once I got a look at the jury, they actually sent him in to look over the jury. He said, that's it. O.J. is walking free. You know, they have experts who can look over the jury.
Right.
So I cannot tie up my day with, and they were saying, now the real fun begins because finally Kato is going to take a stand. This is what the guy on TV is saying. He goes, it's finally happening. Kato, this is the big star.
We all waited for Kato.
I'm waiting for this guy, and he gets on as a moron. As a moron who has no conscience whatsoever. If he was a friend of that Nicole, he'd be spilling his guts.
Did you see him tear up when he was talking about Nicole?
Oh, please.
You think that was crocodile tears?
I seen better acting when Jackie was on The Watcher. This guy's got a head full of Play-Doh. I mean, I never saw a guy like this. And they're asking him questions like Soupy.
And this guy's going to be a big star.
Yeah.
No,
He's going to be some star.
Don't even worry about it, Big Blackie.
Yeah. Believe me, Big Blackie, you'll be a big star before Kato Kaelin. And this guy, he can't answer a question, and I'm waiting for an answer. And I'm listening to this day. I'm on the phone to Rachel. Then I hung up with Rachel. I went for a hamburger. Came back. I spoke to Rachel. Then after Rachel, I called my friend Mike. And then Mike was on the phone with Rachel. Then Rachel called me back.
Broken up with the jacuzzi.
Yeah, broke it. And then he says, even with the jacuzzi, did you hear that story? He goes, so how did you end up taking, they say to him, how did you end up taking a jacuzzi there, Kato Kaelin? He goes, didn't you say something about being stiff? I told O.J. that I could see why stiff. What? They were trying to make the defense was trying to prove a point that O.J. was so stiff that he had to take jacuzzis.
Right.
So they say, didn't you say something about O.J. being stiff? No, I said that I was stiff. I could so I was at the hot tub. He would say stiff and hot tub. No one knows what else he mumbled.
Those are the words he could make.
Yeah, stiff and hot tub.
The most definite thing he would say, that might have happened.
Yeah, that might have happened.
I think so.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything. Every question is a challenge. I never saw a stupider human being on the planet than this Kato Kaelin. This is the dumbest guy. Either he's the dumbest guy on the planet.
I'll give you another example. They asked him about the time again, and he said, well, it was about 9:18 or something like that. And then Marcia Clark says, well, why were you so sure of the time? Was it a digital clock? No, it was a clock with numbers.
Yeah. He goes, you know what I mean.
Has a big hand and a little hand.
And then of course, Judge Ito, who's a time freak, goes, analog. Analog clock. This guy hasn't woken up since the trial started. Now, analog. It's a time question. This Judge Ito's sitting there, and no one thinks this guy's disturbed. Imagine you go into a courtroom, and a judge, inappropriately, on his desk has what must be 9,000 hourglasses. And when he calls for a sidebar, he starts turning over the hourglasses, like in an obsessive-compulsive move. Have you seen that?
Right, yeah.
Once in a while, he'll go over and start flipping them over.
He's supposed to be timing the sidebar at that point.
Yeah, he's timing the sidebar.
Like a watch wouldn't do.
With an hourglass.
The court will recess now, and we will reconvene at 2 o'clock, 5 Eastern.
Yeah, time freak.
You're getting bored with the trial, though, right?
No, listen, let me tell you something. You cannot support this. This is nonsense. Do you understand that this is costing millions of dollars to the taxpayers?
And it is not justice.
And we're not getting justice.
But, Howard, I don't understand about the blood evidence, though. What exactly was found at Nicole's residence?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. You ready for the shock? O.J.'s blood is all over the place.
At Nicole's residence, they have evidence.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, who do you think is guilty?
Well, sounds like O.J.
Oh, yeah, of course. They found Nicole's arm in O.J.'s bag the other day.
That's right. Kato wanted to take it to the car. O.J. said no.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
They say O.J. had a big knapsack. I think they had Nicole's arms and legs in there. Kato don't know what's in there. Nobody knows. How'd that get there? They found blood, OJ's blood at the house, on the gloves, at his house.
Even Kato saw blood.
Yeah.
But has the prosecution brought up that OJ's blood was at the residence already? Have they mentioned that?
Well, of course.
I haven't heard any talk of that blood.
Oh well, they're gonna present DNA.
DNA evidence yet.
You think it makes a difference? The jury's black. You think it makes a difference?
But they should start with the DNA evidence.
I had a woman. I swear to you, I was interviewing black people a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah, I heard it.
And I said to this woman, "Do you think OJ is innocent or guilty?" The woman goes, "Well, I think OJ is innocent." I go, "Ma'am, they found a piece of Nicole's leg." Now, of course, I was kidding, but she didn't know it. I said, they found her leg in OJ's suitcase. You know what she says to me? She goes, "Well, maybe he might be. I don't know, though. You know, you don't know. They could have planted it there." Even if they had Nicole's body in OJ's trunk, it wouldn't have made a difference.
I heard that Scheherazade Ali, who's this woman who wrote a book. She was a big hat on her head.
I saw her.
Every time you see her. And she wrote this book about how to treat black women, and she advised black men to slap them.
Right.
She was on a couple of talk shows last week, and she said she wanted OJ to go free because he has 2 kids to raise, and if OJ doesn't go free, they'll be raised by white people.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saw that. She just said, "I don't care if he's guilty or innocent. I want him free." See, this is the problem. And then this Jesse Jerkson, he decides he's going to go visit OJ over the weekend. Now, why he's visiting OJ, I don't know. And he won't say he thinks OJ's guilty. He says, "It's a tragedy. I want to visit all the people involved in the tragedy."
Has he visited the family?
He's trying to, but they don't want to see him, obviously.
You know what I said to myself when OJ called? Jesse Jackson and his inability to stay away from any place where there'll be cameras had to go.
He had to go. Jesse Jackson.
He loses all sense of
all sense of reason and good reason.
He just has to go when he sees cameras.
This is a guy who calls himself a reverend. There's millions of people, black people, starving somewhere in Biafra. He's with OJ.
Yeah.
And they said OJ needed to see Jesse Jackson because OJ is very spiritual. I said, even if the guy was innocent, you could not make a case that OJ is a spiritual man. I mean, this is a guy
I love it now. All you hear is stories about OJ talking about the Bible and reading the Bible and being visited by ministers.
Well, I got to tell you something.
A week or 2 ago, he was banging everything that moved in a skirt.
Right.
Now he reads the Bible.
Just like Mike Tyson, huh?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I was glad to see Jesse Jackson there because he's the only known human who's worked less in his life than Kato Kaelin. Because as much of a slouch as you think Kato Kaelin is, Jesse Jackson's 3 times the slouch. He's been living, I think he's living in the pool house, too. Those are 2 guys who don't do any work. And I got news for you. Jesse Jackson is the best freeloader in the country because he's got a big Rolex and fancy $300,000 suits.
Oh, I mean, listen to the lifestyle. They were going to McDonald's in a Rolls Royce, and the Testarossa was in the garage.
Now, who's that, Jesse or Kato? The OJ.
It's amazing.
The OJ had the best lifestyle out of any person on the planet, and the OJ is busy killing people.
Yeah, there's 15 houses on his estate because everybody lives with him.
Yeah.
Bubs,
Kato Kaelin. That's some less. Well, what was your night like? Describe the events of the night. Well, I woke up and I was speaking to Rachel. After I spoke for an hour and a half to Rachel, I called my friend Pete. Then I hung up on Pete and I spoke to Rachel for another half hour until OJ came in for the hamburgers. After the hamburgers, I decided I was going to eat in the house. Then I decided to forget the house. I'm going back to my pool house and eat so I could eat and call Rachel again. This is a guy who can't even speak. He's on the phone.
All the time.
Who is it? I'd like to hear a tape of these phone calls. I'd like to have them subpoenaed. I got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words. Thank you, Big Blackie.
All right, no problem. See you later.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle.
7:55 at the Eagle. This is Brad Baxter, Eagle Weather. It's 7:59 at 97.1 the Eagle.
Howard, Harleys, and pure rock. 97.1 the Eagle. You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
You know, there was about another 6 pages of copy for that commercial. I just never got to it.
We'll get to them in the weeks ahead. I hope they have more commercials.
Please stress the P in gliptone. People tend to say glibtone by mistake. Okay, gliptone.
Then they go out and get the wrong thing.
Yeah, I know a guy who put glibtone in his car and the car exploded. You want gliptone. Beautiful product, makes the car looking... Gary just gave me this. You know, there's so many things I have to talk about when you're gone for a week. But look at this. I got an invite, Howard Stern and guest, to the premiere of LaToya Jackson's 1995 live exotic club tour, starring LaToya Jackson.
Now, what do you mean? Is this another one of those things she does for cable where she
No.
hosts a bunch of strippers?
No. She's going to be at Al's Diamond Cabaret. That's the place where girls appear naked.
Yeah.
She's going to be there. That's where you got to bring your own booze.
Right, but she's not dancing.
I don't know. It says here. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It says she's going to be at Al's Diamond Cabaret on the 27th of March. What's today?
The 27th of March.
There you go.
In honor of the Academy Awards?
I guess, yeah. I would have done a show from there had I known.
Really?
Of course. That's an important event.
Dancing nude now?
I don't know. She's not lecturing.
Not at Al's anyway.
No.
That's the place where guys, you know, you can't buy any liquor there, but
Right.
you can bring your own in, and guys come with coolers.
You can't buy liquor there because everyone's completely naked.
Right. Look out. They don't have anything.
Thank you, OJ.
She's not dancing. I don't know. I don't know. But
Why, you find that hard to believe?
I don't know.
You're in shock?
Well, I just read in one of the tabloids that Michael Jackson had paid her $5 million to keep her from doing a porno film. So I don't know what's going on.
Hey, also, I got when I was sick, I got a tape from this Bob Zmuda, who I didn't even know what he did. Bob Zmuda is that guy who does comic relief every year. He's the guy who gets Whoopi and Billy Crystal and Robin Williams all together.
Is that who he is?
Yeah. He does the comic relief thing. So
I thought he was also associated with Gilda Radner in some way.
I don't know. Well, it turns out I get a letter from Bob Zmuda, who evidently used to work with the late Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
And evidently was a writing partner of his. So he was in comedy, Bob Zmuda.
Right.
Because I didn't know how he got to be such a big shot. And
what does he want?
He has put together an hour special on the life of Andy Kaufman, which he sent me, and it was quite good. It was very interesting to watch. I was a big fan of Andy Kaufman's.
Yeah, anything with Andy, I would have made it would be good to watch.
Yeah, so he said to me, you know, if you like the special, would you mention it? So I'll mention it.
When is it coming on?
I don't know.
Well, that's some mention.
I think it's tonight at 10 o'clock on NBC. I think.
Oh, Liz.
Well, Zmuda sent me this whole letter and doesn't tell me when the thing aired.
Wednesday night
Wednesday night?
at 10 on Channel 4.
Good.
All right, that's better, because if it's on tonight, nobody's going to see it.
Because he doesn't put in his letter when it airs. He goes, please tell everyone it's on at 10 o'clock.
Just keep tuning in at 10 o'clock.
He doesn't tell you what network. That's some organization, that Comic Relief. I don't.
So he's associated with that now? I didn't realize it.
She sent me the letter on Comic Relief Stationery. I don't know what Andy Kaufman has to do with Comic Relief.
If he were
Or how
alive,
do you
he'd be
make
there.
a living out of it?
I don't know. Maybe a skim off the top. That's what I would do.
It's charity. It's a year-round thing.
Is it?
I guess so. Wendy from Snapple, you know, the lady that does the Snapple commercials?
Yeah.
She's on the phone. She had a chance meeting with Jerry Lewis last night, and your name came up.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got to tell you something. I saw...
Oh, man.
Hi, Wendy. I saw this Jerry Lewis being interviewed by Charlie Rose.
Yeah.
And Charlie Rose is the biggest bore on 2 feet, but I think Jerry... I would really have him checked into a mental hospital. I think he might have completely flipped his lid. He started talking about the Jerry character and Jerry and writing.
In the third person, he's talking about himself now.
And so full of himself. I never seen a guy more full of himself. I mean, The Nutty Professor was a good movie. It was a good movie. It wasn't a great movie. It was a good movie. That's the only thing Jerry's ever done that's been halfway decent in his entire stupid life. And this guy, I took the part in Damn Yankees. This was a marvelous, marvelous cast before I came into it. to be asked to be part of a marvelous cast. Like, if I ever sound like this, if I ever get to the point that I think what I have done is so important that I use the word marvelous every other word.
Your bowel movement should be said.
Yeah, right. I had Charlie, I had a marvelous bowel movement with the big fake teeth, and the word marvelous trying to get out from there. But he goes, Charlie, this cast of Damn Yankee is so marvelous that I got into the cast. I got to tell you something. They didn't need me. It was marvelous. And I had to make sure that the Jerry character didn't creep in to this fine, marvelous ensemble. Because I must tell you.
I've seen it, Howard.
I must tell you something. The Jerry character does not belong in that place. So I have to suppress Jerry.
Well, I would like to know how he's doing that when he does the Nutty Professor.
Does he?
In the play.
Oh, I don't know.
He's doing lady. The whole thing.
You went to see that?
Yes, me and Jackie.
The two of you should be locked in a mental institution.
I had to see what he was doing, and the worst part of it is that it was a marvelous cast.
Yeah, marvelous.
Before he came.
And
there was a marvelous guy doing the devil before he came. And that marvelous guy didn't get a standing ovation at the end of the show. And now there's a standing ovation every night because
Jerry?
Yo Dane is in there.
Well, Jerry did get up and say to Charlie that, you know, these crowds are telling me something. They are telling me that the world is ready for Jerry again.
Oh, God.
And I will be doing this play for 3 years. I am booked into it for 3 Now you'll never get rid of him. And at the end of 3 years, we'll be preparing for the film, the cinematic version of Damn Yankees.
He's so positive.
He's positive that's going to be a movie.
He's so positive it's going to run for 3 years?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be all over the country.
Like no one will ever get sick of him.
No, because they're going to take it to all the yahoos who never get
Oklahoma.
Yeah, right.
Remember how Mickey Rooney did Sugar Babies and then it went everywhere and it was on for like 10 years? Well, that's what he's going to do with Damn Yankees.
Well, Jerry finally got something going. You think he's going to give it up?
If Jerry thinks he's so talented, how come we can't see that movie he made where he was a clown leading little Nazi kids into the ovens?
No, he didn't lead Nazi kids.
little Jewish kids into the ovens where he's a Nazi.
Anyway, I'll ignore Baba Booey.
But it was really sad because he does every turn.
Wendy?
Hi, good morning.
Nutty Professor ever did in a movie.
Well, so how did you meet Jerry?
Well, I went over to the Plaza Hotel. Last night there was a play reading for a show called Fairy Tales, and he was the guest of honor. So my parents are all excited, and they run over to him.
You mean Jerry now goes to every play reading, and Jerry now...
Well, he's Mr. Broadway.
Well, I don't know every. I was at this one, so I happened to run into him. But
Wendy,
I'm going to turn down Wendy.
Do us a favor. Stand about 5 feet from the phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you. That's better.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
Anyhow, so my parents are really excited to meet him, so they run over to the side of the room, and I sort of came up behind him, and they're all chatting away, and my mother, she says to him, listen, you know my daughter Wendy, the Snapper lady, because she's all excited, and he's extending his hand to me, and he looks at me, he goes, I do not acknowledge anyone or anything that has anything to do with Howard Stern. And he completely, dismissed me.
Oh,
and
so even from Snapple he said that?
Yeah. So my eyeballs, turned in my head. I'm like, I can't even believe that he just dismissed me because of Howard Stern. And I said, I'm calling Howard tomorrow because I have to tell him this. But aside from that, about 10 minutes later, I'm sitting there, and I still can't believe that he did that. And somebody points to him, and he's at the other side of the room with his pants down at a black tie affair, walking around the room with his pants at his ankles. I said, listen, I don't feel bad that he just dismissed me because I don't want to be friends with this guy.
He's just jealous. You know what it is? It's all these old-timers who can't figure out, why people find me funny.
Yeah.
They can't understand why, it still doesn't work for them when they pull their pants down, that people just don't get embarrassed. And he used to laugh, I guess, when he was young. And now they just get embarrassed for him?
I mean, the man is in his late 60s. He has no right to be at a black tie affair with his pants hanging around his ankles.
I mean, consider that an honor.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Wendy.
Okay. Have a good day.
Bye. That's Wendy from Snapple, who met Jerry Lewis.
That's weird, though, right?
Yeah. Well, of course,
if you know the show to make that immediate.
Well, but he knows it real well because all these old timers sit and listen, and they go, I don't understand. He's popular. I don't understand. How come I'm not popular?
Well, that was the whole discussion. I told Jackie certainly he knows about this show. He knows everything about this show.
And Jerry Lewis idolizes me and will kiss my ass when he meets me. He will lather me up so good I'll slide off my chair. What do you think of that? That's how much he worships me. because I have something he doesn't have. I got a mind.
Well, it really hurts me when he gets this standing ovation and
We all
he's
sat there
really not a
defiant.
good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't stand. We sat.
We were the only 4 people.
You refused to stand? Good. Well, at least you didn't stand. Otherwise, I'd have you locked up in a mental institution. We'll be back right after these words.
We're back.
Sound like I'm healthy.
Howard Stern Show.
That's 9 Inch Nails. I saw that the guy, Trent Reznor, the lead singer, on MTV. They asked him about me.
Yeah.
He said something like, he's all right. He's pretty good.
He said some pretty nice things about me. I think I saw that clip show.
About me?
What he said was, he said some pretty nice things about me when the album came out. So
Yeah.
I guess he's okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, dickwad. Letterman, he was sitting there talking about Letterman's brilliant. But I'm just some jerk.
Yeah, he came to our show when we went to New York.
Yeah, thanks, man. I hope your new dog hangs himself. Okay.
I hope all your dogs die.
Yeah. Thanks for the nice words. Thanks for all the trumped up enthusiasm. I guess it's not cool to like me. You're on the air, Miami.
Hi, how you doing?
Dude.
Howard, I was wondering if you caught Saturday Night Live about one of the last.
No, someone played it for me this morning. Ralph played it for me this morning. They did a sketch involving me and Robin and Fafa Fooley and Rush Limbaugh.
How does that kind of thing play in, let's say, Kalamazoo, Michigan?
You got me.
You know what I mean? Do they think like there's a bunch of Martians that have been taken over the studio? How could they possibly understand?
I don't think they played well in New York.
It just kind of. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was. You know, but it seemed like such an inside type of thing. I don't understand how, say 75 to 80% of the audience could possibly understand what the hell they're talking
Well, in
about.
the middle of the sketch, when Gary comes running in and says, "Boff, I got your limo waiting with Amy Lynn."
Boy, oh boy,
I said, boy, that's inside jokes.
I don't know. I know the show is like grasping.
Well, I got to tell you something. As I was watching that sketch, I got nervous and I said, people are going to start saying Saturday Night Live isn't good anymore if they see sketches like this. So you never know.
Well, they were celebrating their 200th anniversary, so I don't think it matters. Did you see what Dan Aykroyd looks like?
Dan Aykroyd, sadly, has gotten almost obese. I would say he's obese.
Is he taking John Candy's place? Is that what he's trying to do?
It's very sad. He has a beautiful wife, Donna Dixon.
How can he have her?
Well, because it's show business. Listen, you say, how could he have her? I'm going to tell you something. I went on vacation with my wife, and I was with Robin Leach. He was at the same place I was at. Robin Leach was with a 6-foot model who looks like a goddess. Her name is Chatilla. And this guy in front of her is bragging about the Playboy Playmates he used to date.
Well, I don't know. It's just
show business.
Anyone who saw Aykroyd that
show
night.
business blinds women.
You know what I think, too? I think Dan Aykroyd is in an effort to see just how much she'll take.
Yeah.
So he keeps getting worse and worse.
He looks like the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
He's completely
He's obese. He's obese.
He's gigantic. He's completely gray. He's got this long hair, which goes back.
He looks
half his hairline is gone.
He looked like Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah. Well, that was I think he played Rush on the skit without padding.
No padding. There was no padding, man. That was he played Pumpkinhead because he had a pumpkin head. But I'll tell you about Dan Aykroyd. It's easy to make fun of Dan Aykroyd now because of a slew of bad movies, but there was a time that this guy showed incredible brilliance on Saturday Night Live.
Respect him for his past work.
That's right. The guy's done enough good stuff that I could still respect him.
Well, what about Eddie Murphy? I mean, if you take a look at some of the old shows that he was involved with, he was brilliant also.
Eddie Murphy died a few years ago, the real Eddie Murphy, and they substituted him with Martin Lawrence's brother, and he's running around pretending to be Eddie Murphy.
He peaked at when he was 18. And
you know what happened in Eddie Murphy? I'm going to tell you, Eddie Murphy's a brilliant, brilliant guy. Brilliant stand-up comic. Funnier than Richard Pryor. You know, they talk about Richard Pryor being a good stand-up comic. Eddie Murphy was better than him.
At one time.
At one time. Now, shh, I didn't finish my discourse.
Who are you to evaluate anyway?
I'm at least someone in the business.
Let's listen to Howard.
Right.
Sure.
I'm not going to listen to you. And I'm going to tell you what happened to Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy happened to be a case I've studied. And I'm not saying this to be facetious or funny, but Evil Eddie took over. Now, who was Evil Eddie?
He's not funny.
No, Evil Eddie is a guy with a little mustache who wants to be Clark Gable, who wants everyone to think he's handsome, and he stopped being funny. He don't want to do goofy characters because he wants to be handsome. And it's like Jerry Lewis.
Now, isn't he doing the Nutty Professor?
Yeah. He's just like Jerry. Now he's going to do the Nutty Professor because I better go back to being goofy. But Evil Eddie took over. The handsome Eddie, I call him.
The Clark Gable.
Dark
Eddie, Gable, as they call him.
Dark Gable. The Eddie who gets in a rock video in big, giant pantaloons, giant, white, flowing pantaloons, and starts singing something about being the world.
Well, I think there comes a point when everything you say, if you have an entourage, people laugh at everything you say.
Yes.
And you stop having to try, and that could screw you up a little bit.
That's why I have no entourage. Because people start walking around, they start laughing at everything you say.
And,
I even notice I go to a party once in a blue moon, people laugh at everything I say. I know that isn't funny. And they laugh. They don't know what to do. And Eddie Murphy must sit around with that gang of his from Roosevelt. They must sit there and laugh, and he pays them.
Well, whatever. It's
that's it.
Probably one of the great creative forces we had in the country. If you see
too much money, it's like these sports guys who get too much money and then they get tired.
They can't play.
Did you watch The Return of Michael Jordan?
Yes.
You got to sit down again.
He should have rested on his laurels.
I watched that whole game. It was sad.
He just won a game in the last second.
Yeah, I saw that. Big deal.
Have a good day.
Was he good? Was he good at the
he
game?
just hit a shot at the buzzer the other day.
Yeah, he hit a buzzer.
Did he?
He's great. I mean, he's great again.
I watched the whole. I hate basketball. I watched the whole game just to see his return.
That first game sucked. Greatest ratings that NBC ever had, and the game, he just wasn't that good.
Yeah. Is he getting better now?
He got great.
Oh, he did?
He scored like 30 points the other night, and he hit a shot at the buzzer to win it for the Bulls.
Well, how hard could basketball really be? He's off for 3 years, and he's the greatest again.
Yeah. Although they say that...
other guys should be ashamed of themselves.
They say the Magic will still beat... Orlando Magic will beat...
Gonna be tough.
And Shaquille is still better?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Great having you in Miami. So long.
Thank you, Right. Oh, who cares what he says? That guy I know. That guy's a big loudmouth. Thinks he knows everything.
He's going to pontificate about what's funny and what's not.
I shut him up. I don't want to hear what he thinks is funny.
Oh, that's very funny.
I don't mind if he asks me who's funny, but I don't want to hear who he thinks is funny. I know what's funny. Hey, let me tell you something. I suffered a big embarrassment. Well, in addition to a lot of different embarrassments.
Wait, what was the big embarrassment?
I suffered a big embarrassment about a month ago.
Oh, I know what you're going to talk about.
No, not the accident in my underpants where my wife found it.
I thought you were finally.
No.
I was going, when is he going to reveal?
No, don't bring that up.
He messes himself.
No, I don't want to. No, that was one time, and my wife found it. No, let me just say something. I had diarrhea. No, in all seriousness, I suffered an embarrassment a month ago where, every month we get ratings. I don't know if you're aware of that. But we get the ratings every month. Now, most disc jockeys don't talk about their ratings. Like Pumpkinhead won't talk about his ratings because on any given basis, he's losing ratings all over the country.
Is that right?
Of course. But
I know
Pumpkinhead,
he just talks about how many markets he's in.
Yeah, he talks about how many markets he's in. He doesn't talk about how many stations are going down the tubes with him because he's Pumpkinhead. In fact, I got a movie about Rush Limbaugh. Where is that movie? Bring it to me. I actually rented it over when I was sick.
There's a movie about it?
Yeah, Rush Limbaugh movie. I got it. Gary, bring me the movie, please. Clip from the movie.
I don't know about it.
I can share that with people. You got the clip? Here it is. This is about Rush Limbaugh. I couldn't believe they made a movie about his life.
Some folks around say it's Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead.
What is that, some kind of a fairy tale?
There is a legend about it around these parts. It's a kind of a demon the hill people believe in. I remember hearing about it when I was a kid.
And Rush Limbaugh comes out of the hills. You got to see this Pumpkinhead.
It said, if you've been wronged, you can conjure Pumpkinhead to exact revenge in your name.
Pumpkinhead.
If you do, you'd be damned for all eternity.
There is a nursery rhyme about it, isn't there?
Hey, listen.
How's it go?
Pumpkinhead.
Bolted doors and windows barred. Guard dogs prowling in the yard.
Jackie's in his
won't protect you in your bed. Nothing will. From Pumpkinhead.
That's
So
it.
is that what the Republican Party did? They invoked Pumpkinhead?
Pumpkinhead, and then all of a sudden Rush Limbaugh comes out of the room and he starts yelling naked.
Well, the Republican Party has been damned forever.
Pumpkinhead. See what I was doing on the vacation.
Yeah.
Some vacation, laying in bed watching Pumpkinhead.
That's no vacation. You were sick.
I call that a vacation. Anytime my wife and kids leave me alone, I don't have to show up here. That's a vacation.
You spend most of your vacations at home anyway.
Right.
That's true.
Laying in bed
I like
sick.
That.
I had hepatitis. Got over it real quick. There was a rumor going around that I had hepatitis. I like that there was a rumor going around.
Why?
I don't know. It made me feel important. That people actually... I almost called for a doctor to have a medical briefing. Like when the president gets sick, because there was so many rumors. My agent got a call twice from Richard Johnson of the New York Post that he had it confirmed that I had hepatitis. My agent called me. He goes, "You believe this?" He said, "Well, why don't we, like they do with the president, have a medical briefing?
Have your doctor speak to the press."
I said, "How many people do you think will show up?" I just didn't want to be embarrassed to have like one guy show up.
Yeah.
I said, we could probably get 10 or 15 press people down for a medical briefing.
I just thought it was sad that you've never been ill. It would be one thing if you had a series of short stays off the air that somebody would jump to all kinds of conclusions, but you get sick once.
Right. Oh, they had me dead. One guy had me with AIDS. That was another one. Another one had a contract negotiation. This was a negotiating ploy.
Yeah.
I said, that's the best I could do to negotiate? Stay off the air?
Pretend to be sick?
Yeah. Anyway, I suffered an embarrassment a month ago. I would like to share it with you as soon as these commercial words are over. And I will tell you my embarrassment. Then I'll take some more phone calls. And then we'll do the news and I'll go home.
You'll be happy to go home.
Right. We'll be back with more Pumpkinhead movie, too. More of the Rush Limbaugh story. Here it comes, Rush Limbaugh.
Some folks around say it's Pumpkinhead.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
Good. I got some great stuff this week coming up. I got a letter from a woman who got it on with her future mother-in-law. It's one of the sexiest stories.
Wait a minute.
Swear to God, I got the exclusive on this one.
What is this, the Ricky Lake?
Yeah, I got a good one for you. I'm gonna try and get her.
Got it on with her mother-in-law?
A future mother-in-law. And they're both really hot.
So you got pictures?
I got it all right here, Robin. Right here. Right here's the whole story with the phone number. Geraldo would kill for this number.
Jerry Springer's on the phone.
Jerry Springer gives me sodomy if I'll give him this number.
One thing we got to do is get tapes of that Jerry Springer audience because they are out of their mind.
Well, I would just like to say that I think that the two of them ought to really try to get back together again with some counseling.
Ooh. No, they just ooh and ah at everything.
Well, they're amazed. They're amazed that Jerry Springer has a show, first of all. You know, there was a list. I'm going to tell you why I was embarrassed recently, but let me just say something. There's a list of all the people who are now getting talk shows, the new crop of talk shows.
Oh, yeah? Who's in the new group?
And really, this proves my theory how they call them Ricky Lake wannabes. This goes to my theory. It doesn't matter who the talk show host is. You could take any one of these talk show hosts, these supposed talk show hosts, Like, you remember Gordon Elliott?
Oh, yeah.
Gordon Elliott, whether you liked him or not, was a guy who had a shtick. He was this big Australian. He used to run around and interview people and do little odd interviews.
Climb into their window in the morning.
Yeah, but he had, while I am not a fan of Gordon Elliott's shtick, at least the guy had a persona. But what they do is now, they give you a talk show, and they get a bunch of retards up on the stage. You know, a producer puts a bunch of retards on the stage. They put a host, doesn't matter who it is. It could be Gordon Elliott, it could be Ricky Lake.
Somebody to hold the microphone.
Jerry Springer, a guy I never heard of. I still don't know who he is. They don't have any particular wit or charm. They really don't even say anything. Montel Williams, who is he? He's nobody. He is you, except he's on TV.
At least Montel was a motivational speaker. He used to run around and tell kids not to commit crimes.
So he has a TV show now.
And stay in school.
Any one of these guys. I mean, seriously, I pitched this. I swear to God I pitched this. I said to Fran Shea, the E-Network, I would like to see one of these shows hosted by a marionette. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, listen to me. I'll work the marionette. I will be the puppeteer for free. I don't even want to be paid. You guys have to book, like the retards. Like get a woman who made love to her aunt or something. Get her up on stage. Get me an audience filled with black people. Lowest class black people you can find. Been toothless, bad afro, koofies, whatever the hell they got there. Go comb Harlem.
In fact, you can have the same audience every day. You got a good audience, keep them.
Yeah, I don't care. Anyone who can't talk and is funny to look at.
Why change the audience?
Yeah, and you want to throw a few Puerto Ricans? Go ahead. You could throw in a white guy.
Dumb white people.
Yeah, but just get ghetto quality people. I said, and I will host it as a marionette. I don't care what the puppet is.
See, that's the fallacy in your statement. You have too much wit.
No. No, I don't. Wait till you see me on this show. Wait till you see this is a stupid puppet. Just roll the cameras and collect the money. So, let me tell you something. And the public does not get tired of these shows. You got Jenny Jones, you got Ricky Lake. And really, you take a guy like Gordon Elliott, who had a persona, and they gave him a show, and you said, oh, I guess it's going to be, he's going to do wacky bits. He stands there with a microphone. Someone was asking me this. They said, did you see the Gordon Elliott show? I said, yes. They said, well, what does he do different? I said, it's the same show as the Ricky Lake show. What they do is they eliminate the guy's personality. You have to. Who cares about Gordon Elliott?
Right.
You want to see retards, people who are normally should be embarrassed by what they're admitting on stage. But
keep the camera on the stage.
All decency has gone out the window. These are people who are happy to admit
the things they're doing.
Right. For free. Yeah, for free. For free. If you were willing to go on TV and admit that you had sex with your dog, you would want to be paid. Yeah. So anyway, now they got.
It's funny because I was reading an article in the paper yesterday, and Jenny Jones was taking credit for inventing. You know.
Yeah. Tell me? What did she invent?
She invented those shows where you have people come out and tell you that they have a secret crush on you. But she didn't invent that.
She didn't even invent that.
No, she invented same-sex crushes.
Oh. Well, she's a genius. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Only I had thought of that.
We were the innovators in getting gay people to come out and say they had crushes on people.
So now they got a whole new crop of people that they dug up, and they're going to give them shows. And really, as long as they stick to the formula of putting retards on the show,
they will have a successful show.
Right. So they gave one show they gave to is Tempest Bledsoe. She's the girl she's a black woman. She used to be on the Cosby Show.
Right. She was one of the Cosby kids.
She was one of the Cosby kids. Didn't even distinguish herself. No one even knows who she is.
She wasn't Rudy.
Right. Rudy was the little girl. And then there was
and she wasn't
Lisa Bonet.
Lisa Bonet.
She was nobody.
We know who she wasn't.
They gave her a show. And she says, because I'm young and sensitive, my show will be the best. She's 21 years old. So that they say, well, what is your show? How is your show going to be different? She says, well, I'm 21.
Well, she is the youngest, I would imagine. That makes her different.
And she even shot a pilot already, and the topic was bachelor parties. So I guess they had a bunch of imbeciles who had been to a bachelor party and their girlfriends sitting and yelling at each other.
Right, where, they admit that they have hookers and strippers and all that stuff.
And they say, well, how will you distinguish yourself? So, in other words, how is it that you are going to step out?
Why
you? And she says, She says, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but the host is what makes a show. That is her quote. Okay? So she did toot her own horn.
She didn't mean to.
Right.
But she did anyway.
I said, well, how did you get this job? He said, well, an executive at Dick Clark Productions saw her on Entertainment Tonight. That was it. That's all it took. All right. Now, the next guy to get a show is the biggest retard of all, Danny Bonaducci.
Oh, no.
Who can't apparently tell the difference between a man and a woman when he's in a car having sex with it.
He should be on the show. He shouldn't be hosting it.
They gave him a show, and he even says he's been on all these shows. Because he's the closest thing I've ever met that actually is a nitwit.
Yeah.
He's as stupid as the people in the audience. I met Danny a couple of years ago when we first went into Philadelphia. He was down and out, and I guess I gave him an idea for a radio show. Now he has a radio show in Chicago.
Right.
He does our show in Chicago at night. But I understand it's awful. And now he got a TV show. And he's going to have one of these shows. The pilot, the topic was men relating to their pregnant wives.
So he's had a pilot, too?
Yes. And he said he's doing a show. He says he's 5'7". It's a show that's very close to his own heart. Women who won't date short men. He's going to do that show. And I said, how did you get the job? He says, well, I met with executives. He wanted them to do a story, a movie of the week on his life.
Mm-hmm.
On his life. The most interesting part of his life was that he got into a car for some sodomy. And with a man.
Real ugly guy.
With an ugly guy and couldn't tell. So he says he couldn't tell it was a guy. And then beats the guy up. Because he knows karate.
But it was only after.
Yeah. So he said, in his own words, he says, I've been on the Geraldo show more times than Charles Manson, and I'm funnier. So
he's done the show so many times he now knows how to do one.
Well, in all fairness, I don't think there's any, I told you a puppet could do this show.
Well, you know, it used to be that Donahue would provide some insight into something that was going on, or Oprah would then tell you how to live your life. Now there's no dispensing of information. You just get the people on to yell at each other.
Because it was the boring stuff. Who wants to sit through that?
Right.
Then they gave a show to Gabrielle Carteris.
Who's that?
She's the ugly girl on Beverly Hills 90210. She is the one who plays the Jewess.
I don't know the show, so.
I watch the show every week. I'm a big fan of the show. She is the worst character on the show. She's a Jewess. She's the big Jew. The big Jew at
there had to be a Jew on the show?
At the school. Yeah, there had to be a Jew. How are you going to get a Jew into Beverly Hills High and work her into the plot? So it turns out she's a poor Jew.
Oh.
Okay?
In Beverly Hills.
Yeah. So she wears a Jew sweatshirt.
A big star David on her sweatshirt.
Yeah. And
I was going to say, what impact does her Jewishness have on her
she's
attending
poor,
high school?
So she gets her address where her grandmother lives, and she sneaks into Beverly Hills High School. They bust her in. They bust in a Jew. Only on TV. They bust no blacks. They bust in Jews. So they bust in this Jew. She graduates high school, right? What does she do? She goes out on a date with a Puerto Rican. What happens?
Gets raped.
No, gets pregnant.
Oh, no.
Of course. Everyone on the show is having tons of sex. Nobody gets pregnant.
No problem.
One Jew has sex with a Puerto Rican. You go near a Puerto Rican and you get pregnant.
Yeah, knocked up.
The Puerto Rican impregnates her. Luke Perry doesn't impregnate anyone.
She slept with him?
I don't know. She slept with them all.
Oh, you watched the show. I wondered if she slept with some of the other guys.
But everybody is sleeping with somebody on the show. She didn't sleep with anybody because she's a Jew.
Oh.
She was Miss Goody Jew Shoes.
Oh.
She sleeps with a Puerto Rican, and he knocks her up, of course.
And it was like the first time.
Doesn't use a rubber. Oh, yeah, first time. Doesn't use a rubber. Now they got a kid, and they're married, and they're cheating on each other. What do you think happens? He just confessed to cheating on her. The Puerto Rican.
The poor Jew with the Puerto Rican who's cheating.
Yeah.
So is she staying on 90210, or is she getting...
Oh, yeah. No, well, not, I guess, but she is getting a talk show. She has no charisma.
You've never talked about her. That's
No.
why I only know the people on 90210 that you talk about, so I have no idea who this woman is.
Age 34. She still plays a high school student. Plays Andrea Zuckerman Vasquez. She's the Puerto Rican married.
Oh, boy.
Only on TV. Originally, the character's name was Spicky Spickstein because they wanted to make clear that was a Puerto Rican and a Jew that married, but they felt it was racist.
So they have to keep the Zuckerman.
Zuckerman.
It can't be Andrea Vasquez.
Yeah.
It's got to be Andrea Zuckerman.
Like every
Vasquez.
Jew, she has to keep her name. The Zuckerman. Andrea Zuckerman Vasquez goes out with one Puerto Rican, one date, and she's knocked up. So they gave her a show.
Why did she sneak into Beverly Hills High to date a Puerto Rican?
Don't ask me.
Jeez, that doesn't make any sense at all.
None of it makes sense. And they say, well, how did you get the job to be a talk show host? She says, well, Rupert Murdoch, I ran into him at a party, and he said, would you like your show? Would you like a talk show?
Really?
Yeah. And they say to her, well, what are you going to do a show about? She goes, well, we don't want to start. She doesn't tell you what she's going to do. She tells you what she doesn't want to do. We don't want to start getting into topics like transvestites who marry their dogs.
Right. Not right away.
Right.
Wait a week or so.
Yeah, wait till the ratings go down. Then they got a guy, Charles Perez.
Yes.
Now, he was just a producer for Ricky Lake.
Right. I've seen his show.
And he said, you know, wait a second. I'm sitting and putting together all of these shows for this fatso, Ricky Lake, who looks like she swallowed a pumpkin. I'm sitting there
She ate Pumpkinhead.
I'm sitting and putting together all these shows for her. Yeah, in fact, there's a movie out about Ricky Lake. Yeah, well, I'll play it for you.
Some folks around say it's Pumpkinhead.
Rush Limbaugh in a dress. Ricky Lake, he was producing for her, and he says, you know, I could do this. So he you know how he got his job? He borrowed money from his friends, shot his own pilot. He's smart.
He knows there's no secret.
And Ricky Lake, you know what she said to him when he left? She goes, you're not going to do a show like mine, are you, Charles? Ricky Big as a leg. Oh. And then finally, they gave one to Carney Wilson, who used to be in Wilson Phillips.
She's a singer.
She's the daughter of Brian Wilson and 1/3 of Wilson Phillips. More than a third, if you ever seen her.
Yeah, she was half of Wilson Phillips, and then there were two other girls.
Now listen to this. How did she get the job?
Yeah.
You got to hear this one. Wilson impressed TV producers while bantering on the Howard Stern show.
Stop.
She was on here. They called her up. They said, you seem to be able to talk. We'll put you up in front of the audience.
Wait a minute. You should have pulled the tape so that we could hear what was so impressive.
And she even said, I was so nervous the first show, I just pretended I was Sally Jesse Raphael for an hour, and I did it. And that was it. Because
I would really like to hear what they heard.
you don't even have to be nervous.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything.
Right. They even said to her, what are you going to do that's different? She says, well, I'm considering singing and having a band.
Oh, boy.
And introducing guests in a different accent.
Huh?
She don't know what to do. She wants to do something.
Guess in a different accent.
Yeah. If I had that show, I would challenge my guests to an eating contest. Because she's very heavy.
Eat out the show.
Yeah, see how much you can eat. See if you explode by the end of the
Let
program.
them carry on and see how much you get through.
But this is what the next Carney.
My guest today.
Hold on.
Yeah, the first thing she should do is announce what she got on her menu for today. On my menu for today.
Blueberry pie.
Let's see, I have some
Carney's buffet.
veal pescata and a little hollandaise sauce.
Should have started off each show with a picture of me if I got her the show.
I would certainly love to hear what was so impressive about her, because I didn't even remember she did the show.
Today we will eat lasagna with no hands.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch that too. But all you got to do is get a bunch of misfits on the stage and you will have a hit show. What do you think, Jenny Jones is a talent?
Jenny Jones, actually admits, they were trying to do socially relevant shows, and nobody was watching.
Now she's a powerhouse.
She decided to pull out the wackos, and they went zooming in the ratings.
Well, you know what it is? Everyone says, gee, how can I do another wacko show? There's been so many done. And I told Suzanne Summers when she was here, I said, what are you going to do? You're going to try and be like Regis? Forget Regis. Regis is history. You got to go get retards. I would actually go to retarded homes and have real retards. I would sink to all-time low.
Mary Lou Henner, I happened to see a moment of her show.
Forget it.
She's cooking. I don't want to watch that.
If she's cooking with retards, then you got something.
Now you got a challenge.
Meanwhile, I was embarrassed very badly a month ago. I would like to tell you about it after these words.
Oh, you.
No, I really do want to tell you about it.
Sure, you said that last time.
And I want to take some phone calls, and I want to do the news, and I want to do a lot of different things, and I want to be out of here at 10 o'clock. Because I got to get better. If I don't get out, that's my new rule. I don't care what we're doing, Robin. We're out of here at 10 o'clock.
I'm with you.
Pull the plug. Doesn't matter.
Don't you let me talk over.
No. I'm really not going to.
But you better start me on time.
Yeah. If I get you started by 9:30.
Oh, come on.
I might get you started by 5 or 10. What are you busy with? Oh, I got to go home. All right. Let's assemble, and I'll tell you why I was embarrassed a month ago.
All right.
And why I'm no longer embarrassed. Thank you.
We'll be back with the Howard Stern Show. Don't go away. 97.1 The Eagle.
8:51 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. It's 8:55 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard Stern Morning. You'll rock all day. 97.1 The Eagle. Let's return to the Howard Stern Show.
Tobacco Road.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh. I'm a little distracted. I've been watching the Rush Limbaugh movie.
Pumpkinhead. What is that, some kind of a fairy tale?
Yeah, I bet. It's a pretty good movie. You ought to get that. Pumpkinhead.
I've watched Pumpkinhead. I like Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, I watched that when I was sick. My wife, one of the few things she did for me is go out and rent me some movies.
I've seen the Pumpkinhead sequels. Haven't there been a couple of Pumpkinheads?
Well, I actually saw Pumpkinhead 2.
Yeah, I think that's what I've seen.
I haven't actually seen Pumpkinhead 1. All I know is Mickey Dolenz' daughter's in Pumpkinhead 2.
Uh-huh.
What a knockout.
I didn't know it was her daughter.
His daughter. What a set of monkeys.
Oh,
Here they come.
Man, she is nice. Who knew he would have such a good-looking daughter? Amy Dolenz. Hooga. Hooga, ooga. Ooga, ooga, ooga. Good thing OJ didn't marry her. Hey, look out. And those aren't breast implants, I don't think. But I don't know for sure. Anyway, a month ago, I was very embarrassed. You can imagine. And I mean this, I want to make you aware of it, because this is the horror of being in this radio business. As you know, a month ago, Fred's band first appeared.
Oh, no.
No, okay, I'm just kidding.
That has been a source of great embarrassment.
And I was very embarrassed.
Well, I apologize for that.
But I was also embarrassed in another way, which I really do want to be serious about. You know, a month ago, I came to Robin, and, you know, our ratings were good all over the country. Every month, our ratings come out. And most disc jockeys don't talk about what goes on every month because they're embarrassed every month. They're bad. They have bad ratings. And we generally are used to having good ratings. Except, I must tell you that a very strange thing goes on in Los Angeles with our ratings. I've got to tell you this. And I mentioned it last month, but I only mentioned it briefly because it was so embarrassing. We generally are number 1 in Los Angeles, number 2, or number 3. And the only time we're number 2 or number 3 is when those idiotic Spanish stations, they must, you know, the way they get ratings, without getting too boring, is they give people booklets to fill out.
Yeah.
And I guess they give them to a bunch of Spanish out there in Los Angeles, and every once in a while we might slip to number 2 behind the Spanish station. Or, God forbid, number 3 behind the 2 Spanish stations.
are people just running back and forth across the border out there?
Well, what's happening is that there's some call letter confusion between our station and the Spanish station, and a lot of our ratings get passed off to the Spanish station. We are KLSX. This is our call letters in Los Angeles are KLSX.
Yeah.
The Spanish station changed their call letters to KLAX and fixed us but good.
And ever since, we've had this problem with ratings.
Well, the ratings have fluctuated.
But the question is, why is it every once in a while?
Because what happens is, I'll explain that to you. So what happens is every once in a while we get a monthly rating that is so wacky off the scale, where literally we go from number 1 to number 14 in the market.
Like we have no audience. It dried up.
In other words, what they're telling you, in a 4-week period, we went from having the most listeners to almost no listeners whatsoever. And what happens is this becomes very alarming to the rating service, because even they say, how the hell did this guy lose his entire audience in a month?
Did he do something?
Yeah, maybe he did something, or maybe he wasn't on the air, but it turns out I'm on the air, whatever it is, and no one can ever figure out why this happens to me periodically. But what ends up happening is headlines appear. Now, last month, we literally went from being number 2 to number 14. In 1 month. This happened in Los Angeles.
Why it happens?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Time to
I'm working into it. I'm working into it. You're very
I
anxious.
just thought you'd gotten rid of my questions
No.
without answering.
No. I wouldn't. No, I'm not going to do what Kato does.
All right.
But I'm trying to give this to you in a logical order.
Okay.
Okay, so in 1 month we went, this is last month now. The headline in the paper was, King Stern isn't dead, but he is slipping.
Oh.
And it went to talk about how in 1 month I've lost the entire audience.
Yeah.
Now, when stuff like this comes out, I start looking around the country. I say, well, gee, I must be bad in other places, too. I'm so bad.
This is a trend around the country, obviously.
Yeah, because Mark and Brian didn't go up, and Rick Dees certainly didn't go up. None of these guys went up. In fact, a lot of them went down. Why am I down? I start to ask myself. I actually take these ratings seriously because this is how I get paid. Like, if we don't have ratings, we don't get hired.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I do business with people out in Los Angeles. And I even know famous people. Like right away, you get a call from Ivan Reitman or somebody.
Like, what happened?
And what happened to you?
Is it over?
Yeah. Hey, loser. That kind of thing.
Hey, everybody has
So listen, I went into a real funk last month, and I said, this isn't right. Every market is up.
Yes, because you looked at the ratings from the rest of the country.
I looked in New York, I looked in Philly, I look at all the different stations and go, we're up. So why am I screwed up for the month in Los Angeles? And then I got to sit through.
Why is what good in the rest of the country bad in Los Angeles?
And then Rick Dees gets on the air and starts talking about how he's beating. Everyone starts getting on the air how they're all beating me. And I know it's not true. In fact, we do research, and the show's hotter than ever. But, you sound like a crybaby if you say the show's hotter than ever and you don't have the ratings to prove it.
Right, how do you know?
So you say, how does this happen in a month? Well, what happens is something weird happens. Either through the way they fill out these booklets or this station confusion for the month, something weird happens and it slips through the cracks and we end up losing our entire audience. So the following month, they make an adjustment to make sure it doesn't happen again. So the next month, it doesn't happen for a while, but in a couple of months, they'll forget again, and it'll happen all over again.
Oh, so it's the rating service.
Well, it has to be. I mean, it's the, listen, I don't like to complain about ratings because basically ratings have always been pretty good to me. But I can't explain a fluctuation where my ratings go from number 2 to number 14 in a month.
I was working on a theory that maybe the Spanish people just run in and out of Los Angeles, and every couple of months they're back.
I don't know what's going on, but all I can tell you is, so this month, thank God, the Los Angeles ratings came out after we were number 14. Now we're back up to number 3 or 2.
So we had amazing growth in the next month.
So I'm wondering where our audience went, why they came back, and how much real audience is not even being counted.
And where are the headlines in the newspaper to say that you have revived?
Well, there won't be. The only thing that people will remember is King Stern isn't dead, but it's pretty much over for him. And the one place you don't want that happening is Los Angeles because
everybody's watching.
It's the show business capital, and that's the one place where, I want to make sure my ratings are consistent.
Yeah.
But ever since that Spanish station changed formats, it's been hell. And I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the first time it happened was just after the call letter change.
Yeah.
And then every few months it happens again.
Yeah. You'll be happy to know those two idiots, Mark and Brian, have absolutely no ratings. I mean, that's been fairly consistent. They're not even in the top 10.
At least they're consistent, though.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, they don't have any reason to complain. They've lost all their ratings and they've remained losers.
Yeah, it seems to be the truth.
Rick Dees, of course, hasn't seen number one in the last 7 years, which is a real nice thing, I think.
Did I tell you he's doing a new commercial?
No.
I was tooling around the dial while we were off, and it's not, we have Breath Assure.
Right.
And it's doing very well, so of course you get rip-off products.
Right.
To come and compete for that dollar. And now Rick Dees is doing one of these commercials for a competing product to freshen your breath.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And he comes on there, you just pop a couple of these in your mouth, and your breath is fresh.
Dickhead. He doesn't care what he promotes.
I know. I said, so you got smelly breath, Rick?
Every once in a while, show business forgets that he's not happening.
Yeah. And
they give him a show or they give him a commercial. And then after he loses all the audience or doesn't, pick up any new people to buy the product.
Right. Who's going to buy that because Rick Dees, because he's got that frightening face.
I wouldn't buy anything he uses.
And he's got those funny, like he wears leisure suits or something.
Yeah.
And so he looks weird, and he has that weird jowly face.
Well, he looks like a woman. he looks like a woman.
I didn't want to say
what?
Rubber face.
Yeah, he's like a rubber face woman.
I said, nobody's going to buy this product. Yeah. They don't think they smell like him.
But anyway, so the point is that I can't take too much of the ratings seriously when I see fluctuations like that. But I just wanted to say, hey, it's good to be, back on top. But I wish they'd be a little more consistent.
So you could trust them.
So you could trust them. And I wouldn't use anything Rick Dees uses. I'd find out everything he uses, and I'd use everything else.
Because you wonder, do I have to dress like that now?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
And does your wife have to start doing bad impressions? His ratings are way down, and they basically interviewed him, and I think he said that it's the other people on the show are ruining the show, not him.
Oh.
Which is what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start blaming you guys if the ratings go down. It's Robin.
Could be.
That's it. Time for you to move on, Robin.
You have to start sitting in a bank vault on a pile of money with a demonic look on your face.
Right. Blame everyone else.
Giving it away.
Yeah.
I'm still great. They're terrible.
Right. That's what I read that somewhere. Where he was just basically saying, we're starting to do some research, and we found out, a lot of the support staff is really bad. Couldn't possibly.
Who chose him? He can't tell what's good?
No, evidently he has no control over that. We got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Stay right there. 97.1, The Eagle.
High performance.
We're back with The Howard Stern Show.
Anybody want to dance? I can't wait for tomorrow's show. There's so much to talk about tomorrow.
Wait a minute, I just have to say something. It always amazes me. There are little things about everyone on the show that amazes me.
Yeah.
Fred is the most amazing of all, because in the week that we were gone, Fred forgot that we worked together. So he has built a wall of cards. I can now not see you at all.
Oh, Fred, are you upset by that observation?
I missed you, Robin.
Because there was a moment there.
Another perceived slight.
Did you finish?
I could tell that Howard was trying to see me for a moment, and you were just looking at all those cards.
Fred, did you finish Robin's book yet?
Oh, yeah.
All I know is everybody calls my house after they finish Robin's book. It starts in with me. I go, listen, I didn't.
With you?
Oh, please. Well, no one
wants
to discuss it with you, but they really feel. Hey, and you know what? While I was sick, I changed my opinion about a lot of people around here, particularly some of the interns. And I got news for you. I called Gary last night. There's a couple of people who've been doing things behind my back. I'm cleaning house around here as soon as I get healthy.
What's going on?
Gary's going to clean some house for me, and then I'm going to clean some house for myself. Plenty of shenanigans going on when I'm not here.
Really?
Even when I'm here, there's shenanigans.
But I didn't do anything.
Well, you talked to Stuttering John. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Does he do anything anymore?
Well, he went out to do an interview last week, but it turned out sort of iffy. I got to play it for you after the show and see if you want to use it.
I see. Let Gorillo do the interviews. Well, I care who does them. That's all I got to say about it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, after everyone reads your book, when is that book coming out already?
April 7th.
Can we talk about it now, or do we have to wait? Because none of us can wait. We're trying to help you sell books, but we're also busting at the seams.
Yeah. Did you read it yet, Jackie?
No, I got
Wait till
my
Jackie reads it.
I got my copy, and I just have, like, opened up the different places, and I opened about 5 different places, and each place, the paragraph starts out, Robin, you're losing it again. And Howard came to me and said, Robin, you're losing it again. I turned over about 100 more pages. Robin, you're losing it again.
I've gotten calls from, well, I'm not going to say who because they were in private, Robin, but...
You can mention names. I don't
Everyone
care.
thinks you're insane.
I am.
You know, there's something wrong with
That's
you.
what that book is about.
I don't even now. I think you're insane.
Had I read this book, I could have helped you with the title. I am insane.
Yeah. Nobody believes it. And believe me, half the stuff in there I don't even believe.
Well, you said that you had read like 2/3 of it, and you said I got 20 things here that I don't believe you did. I think you made them up.
Yeah, even and I told Gary yesterday half of that stuff's made up.
I called Howard and I said, "Wow, Howard, some of this stuff is amazing." And
he starts telling me how bad it is, and then I go to him, what do you think's so bad? So he starts to read off, and I go, "That's not true." He goes, "You're kidding." I go, "Anybody that she writes about, when you go back to confirm the story with them, they don't know what she's talking about."
I was thinking that after I read about.
She's crazy.
I read about 100 pages.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I read about 100 pages yesterday, and I had to call you to say, Howard, man, you really are a cool guy because look at all the stuff that you went through. And you go, I didn't go through anything. I don't even know what happened.
I know. But I told Robin that. Half the stuff she was going to put in the book, I had to fight with her about.
I was talking to some of my own friends who have just read it, and they said, you know what, we would like to call Howard and thank him and give him our sympathy.
Yeah, well, Gary says to me, gee, on every page, Robin's yelling at you. I go, I don't really remember her yelling all that much.
Real or imagined? You know?
Well, Robin claims that she's not sure of anything that happened. But this is her reality.
Now, that's not true.
That's how you explained it to me.
I had to calm you down.
Oh, I called up Robin. I said, let me ask you something. How come I don't know half of this stuff? She goes, well, it doesn't mean that any of this happened. It's just my own psychosis.
It was a dream.
It's my impression of
my impression of what happened.
She thanked me for not noticing anything was wrong or something like that, and I just always assumed she was crazy from the beginning.
You didn't notice anything's wrong. You're the guy in here every day telling me something's wrong.
Yeah, I don't know where, she's absolutely bizarre.
Because Robin says at one point in the book, she goes, I sometimes used to get paranoid behind the glass because I think everyone was talking about me. He was talking about you.
See, that was true.
Jackie was talking
paranoid.
about you.
It was actually happening.
Jackie was saying bad things about you.
I'll tell you one thing, truth or lies, it put everything in perspective.
Is that right?
Yeah, it made me understand a lot.
I'm glad.
Well, explain it to me.
I was crazy. There's no explanation. There's a lot of things. I was telling Howard, there's a lot of things in there. Like, you explain a lot of things that you did that were irrational and explain why. And then there's a lot of stuff in there that's irrational that has no explanation. It's just like irrational thoughts, and you don't even explain them away.
But that was what was going on.
No, that's
you see, that's what she says. Whenever she explains stuff, she goes, that's what was going on. Like, yeah, there was one point in the book where Robin says, Robin goes, I was very upset.
You're very funny, Howard.
I told you not to write this book. She goes, I was very upset. So I went to the store and I ordered ice cream.
How many
and I was, well, wait a second. She goes, and I was so upset.
No, she said, I didn't
want, let me get this straight. She goes, I was very upset, and I didn't want, in my own psychosis, I didn't want anyone to think that I was eating alone. So I would order 2 ice creams. So people would, and then she wouldn't say anything after that.
Right, like you don't explain that. This irrational thought is you didn't want anyone to know you were single, so you ordered for 2. Right. But did that mean
the
you wanted...
point is that's how wacky you get. You imagine that everybody's thinking things about you.
But you should have said...
They're not even looking at what you're buying.
It should have said, I was so wacky,
But that's the whole book. You can't keep repeating that.
She keeps saying, I'm so wacky before...
Top of each page, she just say, I was so wacky, ...
Like the Larry King column.
My personal thing in the book that I wanted to bring up, that you, over the years, 11 years, how many times have you told me I'm stupid? How many thousands of times?
I haven't ever told you that.
A couple thousand times, right?
Right.
Now that I don't remember.
You can never, ever, ever again tell me that I'm stupid because you joined the Army or the Air Force or whatever because somebody called you at home while you had a hangover and you couldn't hang up on them.
I know. I don't want to. See, that's what I said to Gary. I said, Gary, that isn't true.
It's absolutely
It is
true.
not. I said, there's no way. There's no way. You weren't being honest. There's no way somebody joins the army.
Is
Wrong.
she creating myth here?
Yes, because
So
I think there is no. Let me explain something to you. There is no way somebody joins the army.
Nobody.
It was the Air Force.
Whatever.
Maybe they don't join the Army that way. But the Air Force.
Air Force even more. Nobody joins the Air Force after like, oh gee, this person keeps calling me and bugging me. I know how I'll get him to stop bugging
No,
me.
it was.
Join up.
First of all, I wasn't the person I am today, and I couldn't hang up on a person. And
bull.
I was like you. I didn't
don't
like to
believe
hurt
that.
people's feelings.
Baloney.
I could go. But the answer.
Yeah, I'd like to meet the person.
I
who hurt people's feelings.
I could hang up and go back to sleep, or join the Air Force for 2 years.
Well, join the Air Force. Let me tell you something. There's a lot. I think there's a sequel required.
This is my favorite part of the book.
An explanation, cliff notes to explain everything in the book.
Now you can't make fun of Gary anymore. What fun are you
I
going to be?
can make fun of Gary.
He's gonna be pulling stuff out of the book.
Oh yeah.
He now has ammunition.
He sure does.
On the other hand, I always thought that it was amazing. I didn't know how Robin actually started her career, and Robin went from being a nurse to being in a top 10 market in radio in less than 6 months. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, I knew that.
I didn't know that.
How do you know it's true, though?
Well, I read it. It was on paper. I read it.
Me all along.
Who knows if any of that's true?
Because she said it was.
She goes to a strip club. Next thing you know, she's a stripper.
Stop it. I was never a
She was
stripper.
5 seconds away from
now
being
you're doing
She's
things
5 seconds away from being naked on stage.
She's 5 seconds away from being a prostitute.
Right. Yeah.
So I was trying to turn her.
Some guy tried to become a pimp.
2 seconds away from being a porn.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on in that book.
She's Latoya.
I don't know what. I go around just saying none of it's true. That's complete fiction.
The easiest. Disavow.
Yeah. I just go, as far as I know, none of it's true. She was crazy. And
All I
made it
know
all
is
up.
Freddie and I got our books on Monday afternoon of last week, and Freddie and I were doing Best of All last week, and every morning we would come in and say, what chapter are you up to? And it was like one of those things where Fred's like, I don't know how I'm going to look at Robin again. You know, it was like,
well, that's exactly what you said to me. He said, Robin, I can't look at you. Remember that day you came in and said, I can't look at you.
I still can't look at you. I'm the one who told Fred to put up all those cards so I can't see your face.
If I would have read chapter 2 and seen you like an hour later, I don't know what I would have done. But letting a week go by makes it a little bit easier.
Chapter 2, I would have hugged her. By chapter 9, I would have said, ooh.
I talked to Gary, and Gary said, oh, me and Fred got our Robin books yesterday. I said, yeah, how is it? And it was like silence, and it was like, oh.
I know what to say.
He couldn't even talk.
I don't know, Jackie.
Really, did you get one?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Good. I can still talk to you.
He still has respect for me.
Yeah, no wonder I didn't get a call from Billy.
I will tell you that
my book generates calls.
It definitely does.
I will tell you that there are a lot of listeners out there who are in for a big surprise because I think that they think it's going to be this like sort of fun, almost like a joke book or something.
Let them be surprised.
Oh, they will be. Don't worry.
What are you trying to do? Scare them off? She's trying to sell books.
Believe me,
Please,
I'm telling everyone they should buy this
Gary,
book.
I'm about to call you stupid.
No, everyone should buy this book.
There you go.
Everyone.
There you go.
And I'm not just saying that. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Really? Well, that's a good endorsement from Baba Fooey.
There you go.
You enjoyed Robin's pain.
He came in and said, "Balls, I can't put it down. I'm even in the toilet with it."
I take it to the bathroom. I cannot put that book down.
There's an ad for the book, Gary. You go on the crap.
If you'd like to
Can I get a picture of
If you'd like to take a picture of me and use it in the New York Times, feel free.
Chapter 7. Robin meets Wolf.
Where's the paper, Merritt?
And Gary has this retention. Like, I read your book.
But you can't remember
I mean, I don't
line
remember.
for line.
Yeah, I don't remember everything. Gary's like, do you believe what Robin on page 97 says? The following. I mean, he can actually quote from your book.
I can, and I remember everything. When something,
you're like idiots of mine.
When it stays in my mind, I can't get it out.
I read the book, and I even wrote stuff down so I'd have something to say to Robin afterwards. Because I can't remember stuff after I read it.
I can't remember what's in the book as well as Gary.
No, Gary will know better.
And I read it a million times, believe me.
There are people who interview me about my book. I don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what's in there.
Is that me? There are just things in the book that I'm really surprised that, having known you for 11 years, haven't come out on the air. You know, little things.
Like what?
Like that Robin once dated a married guy. We've talked to Robin about sex 1,000 times.
She did once mention that, though.
Did she?
Yes.
I don't even remember
but
it.
I don't dwell on it.
Well, you should, because you dwell on it in the book.
I prefer not to dwell on it. It's probably not true anyway.
Oh.
Oh, why? Well, the guy's
you
name...
are so crazy. He says I made up my whole book.
I don't know. I think half of it. I think it's 50% of it's made up, or she believes it, but it never really happened.
I think it never.
What? I imagine my entire life.
Delusion. Fred
I
sort
don't
of
think
said
you're
that.
that crazy.
Fred actually sort of said that to me without having spoken to you. Fred said that he thought that some of it had become like sort of like I guess almost
blown up.
yeah,
of course.
Okay, so I exaggerated everything.
Romanticized.
Like you see how Robin
romantic?
in the book doesn't get along with her family at all and everything.
Right.
Okay. When I met Robin,
Here we go.
let me tell you something.
What did I ever
Fred,
say to you
Fred.
about my family? What did I ever say to you?
Nothing.
Hold on.
Fred.
Right.
Fred.
Yes.
When we met Robin, more than you, who went home every day, who drove from Washington to Baltimore,
Excuse me.
and
was
lived
I
with
not-
Fred and I are discussing the book now.
Robin did.
This has nothing to do with you.
All right.
This is the conversation Gary and I had. This is the conversation Gary and I had.
All right.
This book is the wildest book I ever read.
It's definitely a
Right?
flight of fancy.
And let me say something. Was she Mommy and Daddy's little girl when we met her?
Did I ever?
Excuse me, I'm talking to Fred. I'm interviewing Fred about his impression.
It sounded like the Nelson family.
Right. And, in fact, we were jealous. She would go home.
Exactly.
All laundry, all food, every need would be taken care of. She'd show up at work like a princess.
Couldn't I address that in the book?
She does.
Yes, you did. I don't buy any of
But
that.
I don't remember the food or the laundry being done or any of that.
Oh, the best home life I ever saw.
Yeah. She was chipper when she left.
Right.
Then I made it all up. You're absolutely right.
Told you.
I am a great novelist.
Well, I told you.
I mean, Robin,
Hey, you admit it.
Robin, how you believe that she had a house full of friendly Yule Christmas logs that she was gnawing on like an animal?
Oh, please. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what happened when she wrote that book. She flipped her lid.
I think she was doing ecstasy.
Crystal meth.
That sounds like a great chapter.
I was with OJ in the car when he went to Burger King.
Fred, am I right, though? Wasn't there some wild stuff in there? I mean, it's a good book.
I swear to God.
I just want to know whose life
You
that
can
is.
ask my wife. I was sitting in the bed at night.
Whose life is it anyway?
Then this is not a book to read before you go to sleep at night. It gave me nightmares. I was reading this thing, and I'd take one page at a time, and I'd put it down to my chest, and I go, I don't believe this.
You were there, right?
Exactly.
So was I.
And I go, Allison, I said, this is not the person I know. Who is this? Who is this fiction?
You know who that is? That's Roseanne.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, you guys.
You should have had a picture on the back of the author with typing with one hand and a crack pipe in the other.
My
The author at work.
I think this book was Mad Lib.
Mad Lib.
This book was Mad Lib. She goes, let's see, what can I make up next? Then I went home and...
They're going to arrest you like that guy who wrote the book about Howard Hughes.
Exactly. Except she's going to sue herself.
Yeah.
The unauthorized box.
My next book is going to be a book denying everything that went on in that book.
I have a question for you. We won't carry this on for too long, but has your family read the book?
My mother is reading it now.
See, that's where we need a camera.
Oh, man, that is the cruelest of all. Talk about it. You know what? There's nothing crueler.
Excuse me. I think my life was a little bit cruel.
Oh, when that woman reads that book.
Talking and reading is not hard.
But my God. Did your mother have an idea of what you're writing about, or did you just hand her this book?
Absolutely.
Did she know what it was about?
What are you talking about? I'm not a liar.
No. I wasn't sure if she knew what was going on.
Absolutely. She helped me write it.
Poor old woman at the end of her life.
Yep.
Here's your
reward. Here's a reward. Good job. Here, Ma. Read. And by the way, give a few to your neighbors when they hang you.
I happen to think that it's hard. It's worse to do some things than to actually read the things.
No.
It's worth reading them.
It's worth reading them.
Because they're there forever.
Not to me.
Good job.
Will your mom be at
And if you don't want to read about them, don't do them.
Is your mom going to go to book signings with you?
No.
Because I'll go to that.
No.
She'll be tied up.
You have a book burning in
Robin gave her mother the clip notes to finish her off quicker. Here's the parts about you.
Oh, man.
Here, Mom.
Goodness, I'm sure you're in the book a lot more than she is.
Oh, I know I am. I counted the pages.
But there's not a bad word about Howard.
No.
There should
You better
be.
not be. I'm a saint.
It's too soon to make it up.
It's too soon.
What was that? I didn't hear that.
Says it's too soon to make it up.
I got to get away from you.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, now that I've read...
Imagine bad stuff about you.
Now that I've read the book, I can't figure out if we're all having fun or if Robin's behind that glass having more thoughts.
I don't know.
We're saying
See, that's the problem. I don't know that she's cured.
She's behind the glass talking to herself about a sequel.
How do we know you're cured even? How do we know there's not another book going on?
You didn't know when I was sick and you got along
safe in
fine.
here.
So.
No.
Don't worry about it.
I was thinking in the audio version. Are you going to do an audio version?
I did it already.
Oh, you should have had your mother read her part. Oh, that would have been good.
See, you're always producing. Right?
Yeah, but I didn't want to say anything.
See, you are cruel.
I know. I would have my mother read those parts.
Those tapings would be a book.
Where is this book already?
Read it on the air.
You better get it out already.
A chapter a day.
April 7th.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. I think I predicted
Can't come out
11 days away.
Countdown to fiction.
We can't wait.
Countdown to fiction.
Will that be on the fiction or non-fiction?
Fact.
It's not too late to correct it.
It is comedy fact, as Jackie would say.
I would. Well, anyway, I'm excited about it just for the picture.
Oh, yeah.
On the cover. Great picture. It is a beautiful picture. Beautiful picture.
Gorgeous.
You hate that picture.
No, I love that.
What is wrong with you with my picture?
You have a serious picture.
It's a serious book.
You have a regal stare in that picture.
A stare.
Yeah.
A glare.
You were glaring at the world.
Regally.
All right, very good. I still think you should have called the book Me.
I wanted to, but
Me?
everybody argued with me.
I didn't. Well, here's a picture of Baba Booey reading your book on the bowl. Look. Holy crow, boy. Look, there he is. And he's got the Robin Quivers book. There he is with his teeth.
Where is there more porcelain on the toilet or in my teeth? The size of those things.
Look at that. There he is.
I feel like Chip and Dale.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, let's do the news, Robin, and stay on schedule.
Oh, we're supposed to be starting the news with a half hour left in the show.
Would you rather have book promotion or news? That's news.
97.1 The Eagle, Storyville. Howard, Harley's, and Pure Rock. 97.1 The Eagle. You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
Ah, yes. So good to be back with you. Robin,
did you miss us?
Oh. I was delirious. I was very upset not to be with the crew. With the whole crew.
Don't believe it for a second.
You want to know the truth? I missed everyone but Fred. And now that I'm back with Fred, I understand why.
Now you miss him.
There you go.
Now I miss him.
You miss being home.
I miss him when I'm with him. I miss what he could have been. All right, good, Fred. No, I even miss Fred.
Well, that's a beautiful thing.
Believe me, the way he's talking about your book, it's almost like he's in the room here with us.
For a change.
For a change. Hasn't stopped.
There you go.
Welcome to the show, Fred.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
I was finally able to focus
almost
Fred by writing a book.
Yeah, he's almost participating when we're during the commercials.
Terrible, isn't it?
Yeah. No need to talk, Fred.
Okay.
No need to contribute. Where were we, Robin? Now, tell me, I suppose you're going to want to speak about Academy Awards.
Well, you'd think that'd be the biggest story, and that's what I would start with today, but I don't think that's the biggest story.
What is the biggest story?
I had something else in mind. Larry King is engaged to be married again.
That is a big story. You're kidding me.
Larry King
This is on... Where? Who is
has
this?
asked actress Deanna Lund
Oh, my God.
to marry him.
Is this time, is it for real?
He proposed by putting a cigar band on her finger.
Gonna put a cigar band on your finger.
And then he replaced it with a $100,000 diamond engagement ring.
Where's he getting all this money?
Do you believe for a minute it's $100,000?
No. If it is, he borrowed it. And let me tell you something. Larry King gets paid about $1 million from CNN.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm not saying that's not a lot of money. I mean, that's way too much money for CNN. But it might be $1 million. And I think I'm going a little high when I say that. I'm giving the devil his due.
Yeah.
CNN does not have a lot of money to pay talent. he gets a 1 rating. I mean, how much money is there for Larry King?
how much money comes out of that show?
I mean, how much negotiating posture does Larry King have? We're going to take the show away from you. Where are you going to go? Who's looking for him? NBC?
Yeah, everybody's recruiting him, aren't they?
Yeah. So, you know, for a guy to spend $100,000 on a ring, you got to make more than $1 million.
And I got to tell you, he proposed on the second date.
Come on. How do like serious politicians and stuff sit down with this guy and not say, excuse me, are you mentally unstable?
As wacky as I am,
right.
I was never this wacky.
No.
I want to read I'm going to write, in fact, a definitive Larry King book.
In all seriousness, you know, we're talking about the book.
Right.
That you're crazy and stuff.
Yeah.
You're nowhere as loony as Larry King.
I'm a piker.
You're normal. You know what? Okay, you had some things happen to you. You know, maybe you saw the world a little through weird eyes or something for a couple of years. But you never went around marrying people
No.
and lying that you knew Sandy Koufax. You never lied.
I have never lied about knowing people I haven't known or proposing to people on second dates. I mean, and
you might have been a bad judge of people around you, but you were never as cuckoo as this.
No, but to think, Howard, that he has done this so many times and has had it work out badly, but he's still doing it.
Who is Deanna Lund? Did she in anything I would know?
She's an actress, and she was a regular on something called The Land of the Giants.
25 years.
25 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, she's not
Land of the Giants
bopper by any.
That was a good show.
Stretch of the imagination. I can hardly remember it. I know there was such a show.
The reason it was great was because every week, it wasn't a high-budget show.
Uh-huh.
So every week, like if you were in the real Land of the Giants, where you were tiny and everything was big, you would probably be walking around and you would see all kind of giant things. But every week they had one giant thing.
Right.
Instead of like having 20 giant things because they didn't have in their budget.
The whole giant world.
So the whole giant world would revolve around a giant pencil up on a table that they had to get.
And they're running across the table. Take the entire show to get across the table.
Yeah, so everything would revolve around this table and the pencil. And people using the pencil. And that was the show.
And you see one big hand coming.
Yeah, big hand. Every once in a while.
Yeah, but this show didn't even last very long.
No, season. Land of the Giants. Because it got tiring after a while just seeing a giant pencil every week. Or a giant telephone. The novelty wore off quick. But
that's her claim to fame. I don't know what she's been doing since then.
This guy literally meets a woman and has to ask her to marry him. And he got into so much trouble with the last one.
They've only known each other 6 weeks now. They're engaged. They've been engaged for most of their knowing each other. Because he proposed to her on the second date.
That's amazing. and women go along. I get women are desperate. Show business blinds women. Look at this guy, Rush Limbaugh, got an aerobics instructor. This guy's a big, giant fatso.
Has he ever exercised?
Never. What could they have in common? It's just money, I guess.
Well, this Deanna says, when I first met Larry at a Los Angeles restaurant 6 weeks ago, I wouldn't even give him my phone number. But he got it from someone else and called me that night.
I love you. Can't you see it? What's the matter with you?
She accepted a dinner date, and the two agreed to meet at a local hotel. But Larry had made such a powerful impression on her, she says, she was terrified.
I'm going to overpower you with my glasses.
So I would say, judging from this description, I would say, Larry's found his match.
Yeah.
I was so scared that I had an allergy attack on the way to meet him, and I tried to cancel the date but couldn't reach him. He was waiting outside the hotel, and I told him, I'm sick and I'm going home. You've made me so nervous, I'm having an allergy attack.
Don't you know love? That's real love. My last wife
amazement,
had a gallbladder attack. I married her on the spot.
He took my hand and quietly told me, I'm terrified, too.
I love you. I'm upset.
She says then her allergy attack went away and they fell in love.
Maybe she's allergic to that paint he puts on his head before each show. He paints in his bald spot. He showed it on 60 Minutes.
2 weeks later, Larry proposed.
I proposed during a conference call. My rabbi was on with me at the time. He's a Talmudic scholar. And I said, I'm on the phone with Deanna Lund. Rabbi, marry us.
He says that he hopes, according to the Inquirer, I think it is, he hopes that number 7, this would be marriage number 7, will be the one that lasts him forever. But knowing his track record in these things and that he's felt this way 6 times before, He is preparing a prenuptial agreement for her to sign.
Doesn't he usually get married and then like a week later fall in love with someone else?
Yeah, you know what happens is mostly because he's hopping back and forth around the country, these are phone relationships, so he doesn't even see these people all that much. And then when they get married and he's with them for like a week, he realizes he doesn't even like them.
I love him, I leave him, then I love him again, and then I leave him again. This is like the third wife, number 7, too, because he married that other one.
Nobody really knows how many times Larry's been married. That's another big secret.
And he's really handsome, so I can see why women can't resist.
Oh, yes, you know, he is what you call drop-dead gorgeous.
Yeah, he is a really handsome guy. We've seen him up close.
Rhino eyes.
Little tiny beady eyes behind giant X-ray glasses.
Those power specs.
Big, powerful specs. I'm looking you over with my big, powerful specs, and I like what I see. I want to marry you. I'm scared, too.
Oh, my suspense.
I'm scared. I'm just as scared as you are.
I'm terrified.
But she's got to be stupid as Kato Kaelin.
No, look at her. She's having an allergy attack going over to meet him.
To meet Larry King.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in all fairness, he does have a lot of paint on his head.
But that doesn't tell you to stay away. You start sneezing.
Ugh. We can get medication for you.
It's like cats, you know. You keep a cat if you're allergic to it.
Well, what does Vegas say? How long is the marriage going to last?
I haven't heard the odds, but something we ought to bet on.
I'm with TV's Deanna Lund.
Wasn't it like 3 weeks ago he was with that...
Yeah, he was with Cindy Garvey.
Cindy Garvey, yeah.
I have a very special place for Larry. Was that the men's room?
So I couldn't wait to tell you that news, that there is going to be
Despicable.
a wife number 7.
It's sickening.
Let's see if he gets this one to the altar, because the last one he's suing to get his clothes back.
Is he still in the middle of that suit?
That's what I hear. I don't know if they settled it or not. I mean, I don't keep that closely up with Larry's goings-on, but I know that he never got to the altar with that one. They wound up suing each other without even getting married.
Listen, there's a lot of disappointed ladies out there I want to address. I'm using your show here for a second. First of all, to my first love, Cindy Garvey. The only reason I'm not marrying you is because your line was busy. To my new love, Deanna. I'm marrying you because we were on the conference call with my rabbi at the time. So that doesn't mean anybody's more of a favorite. I just want to go on record.
I love you, too.
Yeah, I love it. Is it possible to be in love with 3 women at the same time? I'm in love with Cindy, Deanna, and my rabbi.
And whoever is on the show next.
And all my future guests.
Really?
Did I mention that Marilyn Chambers pulled my pants down on the air and tried to give me sodomy? The wedding is set for 3 days from now, Robin. And we're getting married.
I can't wait.
Unless, of course, a Girl Scout comes to the door selling cookies, I might fall in love with her.
But I love that his life is such a mess because I enjoy reading about it.
Yeah. Well, I see there's a few spots on my pants, and we need to break for spots. Have they had sex yet, him and Deanna?
It would seem so, don't you think?
Think they've consummated?
6 weeks now.
Oh, hey-oh.
You think Larry waits till the wedding night?
No way. Got to test out the package.
Yeah, got to take it for a test drive.
Going to bring you to the land of the giants.
Tell me about that big pencil again.
How big was that pencil? All right, we're going to take a break, Robin. We'll have more exciting news right after this.
More to come when the Howard Stern Show returns in a moment. 97.1 The Eagle. 7-1 The Eagle. It's the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Yeah, dig it. Big news was that Larry King's getting married again. We just heard that. It was pretty funny.
And, of course, the big story is the Academy Awards happening tonight. Everybody expects Forrest Gump will be the big winner. Tom Hanks should get the Academy Award for Best Actor.
I'm playing a retard.
Movie should be Best Picture.
The best picture of the year is this Pulp Fiction.
But just like Kathy Lee, the Oscar voters are considered to be a very conservative older group who will find it too violent.
And I'll tell you who the best actor is. Harvey Keitel.
Oh, but his role was so small.
Oh, so what? What, you got to have a big role to be the best actor?
Yes, he would be considered a best supporting actor.
This guy, if he hadn't played that role in every other movie that he's ever done...
I was going to say, it's just a reprise of Mr. White.
In Pulp Fiction, he comes in, he cleans up a car full of dead bodies so beautifully. He knows he's so calm and knows what to do. It's beautiful.
Everybody just has to listen to him and everything will be fine.
It's terrific. 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 Even John Travolta's terrific. But I'll tell you who's better than John Travolta. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And you know what the L stands for?
What?
I don't know. Do you know?
I thought you knew something.
No, I don't know
change.
that. Why would I know that?
You know you met him.
Yes. And he was really nothing in person. Very boring.
He needs a script, is that what
Yeah, he needs a script. Actually, nice guy.
Very nice young
This
man.
big, threatening black guy was so charming and didn't make me
right
nervous.
at ease.
Put me at ease. I didn't feel threatened.
You didn't leave.
Oh, I'm so well
You
behaved.
could even sit with him in the dark.
Good role model. Really well behaved. You were there that night, weren't you, Jackie?
Wasn't frightened at all. They turned the lights off.
I was fine. I'd sit next to him in the dark theater, and he didn't talk to the screen
And
once.
it was a violent film, and
It
he
was.
didn't get up and shoot you.
What was the movie I was watching with Samuel?
Natural Born Killers.
Yeah. And he didn't talk to the screen. He didn't even yell at the screen. Very well behaved black gentleman. And a good actor. Samuel L. Jackson.
Nicer than Sinbad.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh.
I don't know him that well.
I just thought, well, I'm trying to compare. He's not as nice as Sinbad.
Sinbad and Urkel.
Ooh.
Urkel I like. I wish every black guy was like Urkel.
Oh, boy.
Wear the same pants, the short pants.
Hiked up
with the big glasses. And you could kick his ass.
Right, I was going to say, every black guy should look like you could kick their ass.
Yeah. And the other movie that doesn't get any acknowledgement is this movie about Rush Limbaugh, which I have a clip from.
Some folks around say it's Pumpkinhead.
See? That woman deserves an Oscar.
Well, I don't think Pumpkinhead came up this past year, Howard, so...
Pumpkinhead.
Wasn't eligible, as they say. But everybody, of course, is talking about the fact that David Letterman, instead of wondering who's going to win the Oscars, they're wondering what kind of host David Letterman will be. And will he bring his wacky stunts and bits to the Oscar show?
No, he's going to do what Johnny Carson did. He's going to stand there for 15 minutes and do a monologue, and then he's going to go. Then he's going to announce different people's names.
They have an article in the Inquirer today revealing why David Letterman won't marry again. They say...
Because he's got about $50 billion and he can get laid from anybody he wants.
Well, they say that they had an exclusive interview with David Letterman's mother.
Yeah.
And they got the scoop.
She's a weak woman. And that he doesn't have any respect for women.
She says that David looks at the example of his mentor, Johnny Carson.
Oh, Johnny. What does David think he's Johnny? He's got to be Johnny Carson in every step of his life?
And he doesn't want to go through. He says there was a lot of pain. We didn't know about it. Johnny was laughing on stage.
I mean, the only
but there was a lot of pain there.
The only person who knew was Johnny and Dave?
I guess.
Too bad.
And it also cost Johnny a lot of money.
Yeah.
Not only was he in pain, but his wallet was hurting too. And he doesn't want to go through that.
Ouch. My wallet hurts.
He's already had one divorce, and he had the breakup of his 10-year relationship with Merrill Markoe. And so, according to Mom,
It's enough.
David doesn't want to go through that kind
Boy, if I was David Letterman, I would... Oh, boy, I would never get married. I'd be dating up a storm. I'd be dating up a frenzy. Who's the guest tonight? Uma Thurman? I'll be out with her tonight.
It's funny you should say that, because I decided to tell you this story because, you know, this is something you probably would like to do.
Oh,
Sylvester Stallone is taking
I got to do this.
someone named Angie Everhart
Yeah.
to the Oscars tonight.
That's what I want to do.
She's a $10,000 a day model and is a regular in the Sports Illustrated issue.
Yeah, I learned that.
He found her in the Sports Illustrated magazine. That's where he first saw her. And he said, I have to meet her.
Wow.
Friends arranged it for him because he said he had to do it.
Right.
And, of course, there was an incredible chemistry.
What else?
So now he's dating her.
Wow. Oh.
She's, what, 24? He's 50.
I'd be better than that. I wouldn't even be so specific. I'd be like, Morty, get me a black one and a chink for tonight for the Academy Awards. I'll take 2.
But just imagine it, because you look in books and you imagine being with the people in magazines and books. But imagine being able to just call up and say, you know what, I really want to meet her, and somebody just goes and arranges it for you.
Yeah, meanwhile, his brother, Frank Stallone's going to the Oscars with Betty White.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between being sly and being frank.
Yeah, great.
And that little difference makes a world of difference when you come right down to it.
Yeah, it's like being Patrick Swayze's brother. Wrong one.
It's the same mother and father, but there's just something different.
Something off.
So anyway, just look for Sly and his new babe at the Oscars tonight.
It's like being Stephen Baldwin.
Kato Kaelin is expected back on the stand today at the O.J. trial.
Stupid idiot. He's going to go make a bigger fool out of himself today, and I won't be there watching. I'm not going to watch that nonsense. That guy's a moron.
And Marcia Clark will be continuing her redirect.
He's like a retard,
as they call it, as she tries to, get something out of Kato.
O.J.
Mr. Kaelin, what did you do tonight that this happened?
I have no idea.
What did you do? I was on the phone to Rachel. Can you take a look at this phone bill? Now, it says here you were on the phone with Rachel for an hour. How is it you're on the phone for an hour when you can't even say one word here in the courtroom?
It must take an hour for him to get out any response.
Yeah, I tell you. Then I was on the phone with Rachel, and then I went for a hamburger.
I've never seen a person more unsure of anything in my life. They showed him a picture of his room, Howard.
Yeah, he can't even figure that out.
And they said, now, do you see the painting on the wall? He says, yes. And they say, is that the same painting that was on the wall when you lived there? And he starts to squint. And, and then he looks real pained. And then he finally says, I think so.
He's like John Bobbitt. Can barely say a word.
Yeah. How could you live in a room and not know the painting? There's one painting in the entire room.
Did you catch when he said, you guys are good?
Well, never mind that.
Saying that to
Marsha Clark.
You guys are good.
Yeah, you guys are good. You're really challenging me. But I mean, the guy is obviously not being forthcoming.
No.
When they ask him a question that would somehow make O.J. look like a bad guy, he don't know what to say. This is how the guy, he thinks he's smart. He thinks he's pulling the wool over everyone's eyes.
But you know what? They trapped him, and he spilled his guy. So all you have to do is get him in a corner.
Yeah.
And then he can't even keep a secret.
They said to him, O.J., were you upset? I mean, Kato, did it look like O.J. was upset about his wife? Well, this is how he answers. I swear to God, this is what he says. He goes, well, he kept talking about Sydney and the party. And they go, Sydney? We didn't ask you. We said, did O.J.
We didn't ask you what he said.
Yeah, did he appear upset? I know that O.J. Came back from Sydney.
Okay, Mr. Kaelin, we're going to give you your grand jury testimony.
Yeah, then they make him read it.
And see if that can make you recall or refresh your memory.
Yeah. And then, finally, as you say, they break him down because he's so stupid.
Yeah.
He can't even lie good.
But the best one was he had told the grand jury and he had told Marcia Clark about only seeing Nicole and O.J. fight once.
Yeah.
And then when he was being on the direct questioning from Marcia Clark, it was the cross-examination by the defense attorney. He blurted out that he had seen them fight more than once.
Yeah, well, he
and then
he doesn't
wound
have
up
his
having
story
to
straight.
answer all those questions, and Marsha Clark got to point out to the jury that he wasn't being as forthcoming as he could be.
Well, he feels bad because where's he going to find another sucker to put him up for free?
Right, O.J. didn't even want his money. He had to pay Nicole rent.
Right. And it was obvious he was paying this. He was giving this Kato a place to live so his wife wouldn't do Kato.
Yeah.
Because he's so friggin' jealous that he can't stand. He's with Paula Barbieri, a gorgeous woman. He's worrying about his wife with Kato.
But it only goes to show you how little O.J. thought of himself.
Yeah.
He had to have all this to get Nicole, and Kato, who's sleeping in the garage, will just get her for free.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have to pay anything. And look at the dimwit she's with. Imagine leaving your kids with this Kato.
Yeah, why do people let Kato take care of their children?
He can't obviously talk.
It's amazing. But anyway, he'll be
I'd let Rosa Lopez take care of my kids before Kato. No wonder O.J. was so angry. Look who his wife puts in charge of the kids. Look out.
But O.J. did it, too. He wanted Kato's jobs was to take care of the kids when it was O.J.'s visiting.
I was with Sydney and Justin. What? Sydney, Justin, the two kids. Arnell. He's got some life. He dyes his hair, eats hamburgers, and makes calls to girls. I'm looking for that. And then he hears a big noise in the air conditioner. Where does he look? In the front of the house.
What is he? No, he hears a noise, and he says to the girl on the phone, "Did we just have an earthquake?" He's an amazing man.
He's pathetic.
But anyway, on more O.J. news, he was visited by Jesse Jackson yesterday. Jesse was in Los Angeles, and somehow O.J. found out that he was going to be in town and requested a meeting. And, of course, Jesse jumped right to, because O.J.'s the biggest star in the country right now.
Jesse Jackson, a guy who works less than Kato.
So here is a little bit of Jesse's impression of O.J. He says that O.J. was crying at some point.
I bet.
During their conversation, which lasted about an hour.
Reverend Jackson, what the hell did I do? What did I kill them people for? I had the best life in the world.
I didn't detect any bitterness. No. After all, he has gone through a...
Why would he be bitter? He did it.
...dramatic fall from an amazing level of grace to the eyes of...
And Jesse Jackson, Jesse Jackasson, he can't even say that O.J.'s guilty. He don't know either. He can't figure out, well, I'm not saying anything was done here.
You let Jesse speak and I'll do it.
Hold on.
Many disgrace. But through it all, he seems to have enough of inner strength and enough family background to be holding up.
Of course, no one knows what Jesse Jackson said after we play it. It'll make a difference.
That's why I want you to let it run.
Yeah. Thank you.
And here's more of what Jesse had to say about visiting O.J.
He talked an awful lot about his the agony, the pain of having lost his ex-wife.
No, it is an illusion.
But when they asked Jesse Jackson if O.J. was guilty or innocent, he said that was not for him to determine.
Well, don't worry. We weren't gonna sit and listen to what you said and then find him innocent or guilty. Yeah, why bother with the trial? Why don't we just ask Jesse Jackson if O.J.'s guilty? I don't want to comment because if I comment, it might influence Judge Ito.
Well, he is Jesse Jackson, very influential.
Yeah, I'm influential with nobody, but I got a lot of money to show for it. Boy, that Kato got a good life, don't he? He worked less than I do. I have to at least show up on TV every once in a while.
He made Jesse Jackson say, "Damn."
Yeah. Never mind O.J. I'd like to meet with Kato. Find out how he do it.
He could spend his days eating a hamburger and sitting in the jacuzzi.
Yeah, the jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi rhymes with what, Jesse?
As we said earlier.
Hickory dickory daiquiri. I think I'm in the jacuzzi.
Always rhyming.
Yeah.
Speaking of rhyming, rap star Eazy-E is dead at the age of 31.
We know him.
He was one of the co-founders of the rap group Niggers with Attitude.
Don't say that.
Well, that was their name, Howard. And was responsible for bringing the strange, harsh street life of the Los Angeles ghetto to the music world. He left a life of drugs to become a rap artist. And doesn't know exactly how he got AIDS, but he announced a couple of weeks ago that he had discovered that he had the disease when he went into the hospital complaining of breathing problems. That was about 4 to 6 weeks ago, and in very short order, AIDS took him right out of here. So anyway, here is Ron Sweeney, who was Eazy-E's lawyer, reading a statement about Eazy-E's illness several weeks ago when he first discovered he had AIDS.
Because it went in a little too Eazy-E. I heard he changed his name to AZT after EZT.
Hoping it might help.
Yeah. Maybe a name change.
We felt that it was important for us to come forward to dispel any rumors and make sure that the truth be told.
Well, that was very nice of you. Eazy-E was hoping that people would become more aware of the illness, knowing that he got it, since he had been one of those people, as we heard earlier today from our show, who were immune to AIDS.
We were pretty aware of it before he got it, but...
No, he was not aware.
Yeah, should I play that again?
Yeah.
Here's Eazy-E from our show. We had him on. We liked having him on just because I could say the word niggas to him. And he was with niggas with AIDS, niggas with attitudes.
It was NWA. Maybe it was niggas with AIDS.
Whatever the hell the name of the group was. And he used to come on our show and do his solo thing. He would talk to us about his sex life.
Yeah.
And he even addressed AIDS. This was years ago. You're with NWAP, niggas with active penis, I'll tell you that. You are completely out of control. You really are.
I'm just letting you know it works, and I'm not, homosexual or nothing like
Right,
that.
so you wear condoms when you have sex?
No, apparently not.
You don't have condoms?
Nah.
You never wear a condom?
Nah.
You heard about AIDS?
Yeah, but the people that I mess with don't.
They're clean.
Yeah.
How do you know?
You smell them before you have sex with them.
I would have had it myself if they would have had it, right?
Oh man.
I don't know, jump around and,
I love that logic.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so that's pretty much it.
He wasn't worried about getting the AIDS because he would have already had it if they had it.
Yeah.
Well, I would have had it.
He had pretty good logic.
Here's rap artist Steele from the group Smith and Wesson.
They're a good group.
Talking about what it might mean to people to know that Eazy-E died of AIDS.
They see these people in these lights, and they want to be just like these people. But when they see these people fall down, they don't really put that part, and they don't really see that part and recognize it. But this will definitely, they have to see it. We will definitely bring it to them. We will definitely introduce them to the light.
Sounds interesting. Wonder what he said.
I don't know. But here is...
definitely he used like 20 times.
Definitely. I don't know what I'm saying, definitely. Paula Correa of Cedars Sinai Hospital out in Los Angeles made the announcement confirming Eazy-E's death. Here she is.
Eazy-E, also known as his real name is Eric Wright, died tonight at Cedars Sinai at 6:35 p.m. Los Angeles time. He died from complication of AIDS.
Oh, Jackie.
Jackie has a bad sense of humor.
Calm down. And finally, to acquaint people with Eazy, I never heard his music unless he was coming to do the show, so I finally had to take a listen. But here is a little sample for people who don't know the work of Eazy-E.
This is his work with Jackie, right? It's Jackie and Eazy.
When I see the police, I don't dodge them, but I'm smart, lay low, creep a while. And when I see the punk pass, I smile. To me, it's kind of funny. The attitude showing something.
My God, he's going to be missed.
Looking for the one they call but here's the flag. They never seen ruthless. Never seen like a fire in the dark.
They say he's worth about $30 million.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
And here's a drink of the one who got the legs in the
Thank you, Jackie and Eazy-E.
Jackie doing his best to sell that record.
Yeah.
You want to hear a little more of Eazy-E?
You got more?
I don't think. Maybe I didn't pull it. I just thought maybe one would be enough. Okay. So anyway, there he is. Eazy-E, dead. He has at least 6 children by 6 different women.
You know, Irving Berlin died. He was only worth $4 million.
So they think there are going to be lots of lawsuits and wrangling over whatever money he had, even though he married his companion, some woman who had been with him for a while, just after he found out that he had AIDS.
She must be thrilled.
It's a shame we won't have Eazy-E on the show anymore. I didn't know he was sick.
I actually would have called him this morning, seriously.
But he couldn't talk. I mean, the man was dying. He couldn't talk.
No, he could talk. Up until the end, they say he could rap.
Is that right? He was even singing.
Singing as he was going.
Must have been like an opera in that hospital room.
Well, we shared some good times.
And, you know, there's a lot of things that happened while we were away. Mike Tyson got out of jail.
And now he's such a Muslim that he wears a yarmulke 24 hours a day.
He's become a Muslim, and he's now at home with his advisor, Mohammed Sadiq.
He needs an advisor. He's one day out of jail. He needs an advisor.
Trying to determine what he should do with his life. Everybody's expecting him, of course, to go back into boxing, but nobody, you know, and I see people like Hammer and Salt and Pepper. I even read something that Whitney Houston has been visiting him in jail and so forth, but nobody is concerned about this young woman who was raped by Mike Tyson.
I'd like to visit her.
And no one is concerned about doing business with a rapist. It's just very interesting to me what this country is all about, what's important.
What do you think he'll do? Do you think he'll go back to boxing or raping? What do you think is more attractive at this point to him? There's no money in raping, but it certainly feels better.
But he certainly indulged.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to me that everybody says, oh, well, he's done his 3 years, and this woman is still suffering from the fact that she was his victim. But nobody cares. So anyway, let's go on. Jackie cares. You mentioned Michael Jordan earlier. Do you care that he's back in basketball?
I do, yes.
It's better for you now?
Yeah. I watched the game. I enjoyed it.
All right. The baseball season is actually supposed to open this Sunday. They're going back into negotiations today. There's some consideration of charging the owners with unfair labor practices and possibly forcing them to now accept the players back on the field and negotiating fairly. But they say that if that were the case, if the owners are forced to do something like that, they might then go to a lockout, so there'd be no baseball at all. You wouldn't even have these replacement teams playing. And the NCAA.
By the way, I'll vote for replacement baseball. I watch it. I love it.
Have you watched?
Yeah. Watched a couple of games.
Yeah?
Yeah. I watched the Mets.
The replacement match. You have to say that. It's not the real match.
Yeah, it was good, though. It was as good as the other stuff. It really was.
I don't know. I haven't watched.
It made no difference.
I mean, I don't watch the good stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
What difference would it make to me? And are you interested in the NCAA? Because there apparently is some tournament going on.
I've been watching that. I've been sick. I've been watching everything. I'm like the watcher.
So they're now down to the Final Four.
Yeah. I saw UCLA beat a team. So I know they won. And I saw another team beat some other team, the one that Clinton likes.
I wouldn't know.
Arizona.
Arkansas,
rather.
UCLA beat.
Yeah, why would he like Arizona?
UCLA beat UConn. That was
a good game.
Yep.
And then I saw
the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah, they won.
Yes, they're in the Final Four. They're the defending champs.
And then there's 2 other teams that won.
North Carolina, UCLA, and I can't remember who won yesterday. Oh, like Oklahoma State.
And UCLA will win the whole thing, and it's a whole big deal for the coach because he never wins.
Well, they were really great for like 10 or 15 years, and this guy took over, and they haven't been in the tournament in the last 15 years.
And yet they've been playing better.
They've been in the tournament, but I mean, they haven't won. They haven't even come close to winning in like 15 years.
See, I know something about this.
I'm impressed.
Wait a second. If you're a real man,
there's even some white guys on the team.
If you're a real man, did you watch any of the women's tournament?
No, but I did watch tennis. I watched Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras.
Who won that?
You know who wins now? Andre Agassi. You know why? Because you don't have all that hair to worry about.
The hair's not in his eyes.
I swear to God, the guy has no look now. Now he's concentrating on tennis.
But now you're convinced, Howard, that he was wearing some sort of a hair covering?
Yes.
I mean, do you think... Because everyone says, you know, all of a sudden one day he has all that hair and then he's bald and people think...
Yeah, he was wearing
he got bald
weave.
in a day.
He was wearing a weave. And it was awful. But I'll tell you who looks the best is this Brooke Shields. I don't know, boy, as a woman, she really developed into something. She's got some look.
She was on the cover of some magazine last week.
I saw that.
And I didn't even recognize her.
Mirabella.
Oh, she looked great.
What a piece of ass.
At what you've been
concentrating on. Let me tell you something.
This is fascinating.
What a woman. Oh, my God. What I would just piece by piece take her apart, chop her up.
She's a big girl, you know.
I carry her arms in my luggage.
I can't get the
Very tall.
I can't stop thinking of her pre-Slim Fast. You know, she got really, really, really puffy.
I don't care what. I'm telling you, she looks unbelievable.
Now he wants her.
I want her right now.
And finally, Chevy Chase is being sued by the chauffeur.
Of course.
Who was accused of drug charges after accepting a package he claims was for a Chevy.
They should give the driver $50 million.
Fred Morose is suing for $30 million.
That's all? Should increase it.
Claiming breach of contract and emotional distress over the August 4th, 1994 incident that resulted in the driver's arrest.
It happens.
The suit says the driver was following Chase's orders and had picked up a package containing several white pills.
Oops.
He was then stopped by police, searched, and was charged with possession of illegal drugs.
That's worth $80 million. I have a lawsuit out against Chevy.
The charges were eventually dropped, but Morose says he suffered financial damages because of the negative publicity.
I got a suit for $10 million for watching one of Chevy's shows, his Fox shows.
Hey, can I tell you a really cool fact about Chevy? You should remember this tomorrow when Forrest Gump heaps up a whole bunch of awards. He passed on that movie.
Did he really?
Yep. He was one of the many. There were a lot of people in its early stages that passed on it. He was
that's
one of
right, because didn't he have to do Invisible Man?
Well, that was too stupid a role for him to take.
Yeah. There is a God. That's great. Yeah, I turned that down.
Apparently, this is interesting to me. Chevy paid for the guy's lawyers when he was fighting the drug charges. But the guy is suing Chevy now because Chevy promised to take responsibility for the possession of the narcotics and said that he would pay the guy $1 million, and none of that, I guess, ever happened.
Yeah, right.
Chevy is not commenting.
Chevy's a weird dude, man.
So that's what's happening.
Thanks, Robin. All right, let's get out of here, because I'm going to go to bed. So I can get some sleep, so I can be here to do this tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I have to go to a press junket now.
Oh, excuse me. Is that for your book?
Some of us can rest. Others of us have work that continues.
Is that for your book?
Yes.
Wow. Press junket. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm going to sit in a hotel, and they're going to come in and ask me questions, I suppose.
Robert's going to do the same interview 20 times in a row.
Well, I had to do that with my book.
Nobody asked an original question.
Do you think they all read it?
I don't know if this group has. I've been doing interviews all along, and people who've interviewed me have been reading, some of it at least.
We all got interviewed for this newspaper article about Robin, and none of us had read the book, so the guy started telling us all this weird stuff that we didn't know.
That's always pleasant. Someone tells you third hand. Someone reading for you.
Right. Did you believe it? Did you think he was confused?
No, I knew you were telling the truth.
Who knows? Well, anyway, good luck with your press junket, Robin.
Thank you very much.
Press junket.
I hope that you're feeling better tomorrow.
Thank you, Robin. Same to you. Jackie Jokeman Marlowe. To order Jackie's, I hope you get over that sneezing attack, Jackie. To order Jackie's wild...
She's the only one who remains healthy.
Yeah, I know. She's the only one who eats all kinds of garbage and remains healthy. To order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD or cassette, it's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special, buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. This Friday, March 31st, two big shows at Slapsticks in Baltimore, Maryland. For jokes and info, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service.
You forget all the Jackie laughs when you're away for a while.
Friday night, don't miss Fred Springsteen at 7 Willow Street in Port Chester. Call 914-939-1474 for information. That's Fred Norris Band. Join Baba Booey this Saturday at the grand opening of Burger King on Hanover Street and Route 38 in Pemberton, New Jersey from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Don't miss Stuttering John and his band appearing at Tramps Tuesday, March 28th at 8 p.m. Proceeds to benefit Greenpeace. To order a signed copy of Stuttering John CD, call 201-942-OUCH.
I can tell you that this one's a definite.
Andy Kaufman special Wednesday night at 10 p.m. on Channel 4. I figure I'd give that a plug.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to see that.
It was good. It was good. If you're planning a wedding or party and you need a DJ, call Scott the Engineer's Rocket Entertainment at 718-BAG-5040, and we'll see you tomorrow. 40, 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 and we'll see you tomorrow.